It's now time for Ermanni and Edwards with Maz, live on the Woodward Sports Network. Every day, 2 to 4 p.m. Starring Ryan Ermanni, Michigan great and former NFL baller Braylon Edwards, and of course, Tom Mazaway. Let's talk some sports.
Let's go. Wednesday show, September 20th, 2023. Ermanni and Edwards with Maz. Woodward Sports Network, woodwardsports.com, fox2detroit.com if you're watching live. If you are watching on YouTube, we say hello, everybody out there. Hello. Subscribe to Woodward Sports on YouTube. Hit the like button as well. Helps YouTube push our content out to more people, and that is a good thing. Braylon Edwards, good afternoon to you, my friend.
Good afternoon, Ryan and Monty. I'm over here trying to set up my YouTube because I notice I'm never in the chat. I never get in the chat. I let you handle the chat.
Look out.
I let Maz get in the chat.
Look
you know
out.
what I'm saying? Today I feel like I want to be a part of the chat.
Detroit Supremacy, El Gato, Cash, Python Knight, Joey 2 times in the chat. Hello, everybody. By the way, what in the world are you drinking? What is that?
This is a mango smoothie, extra whip.
Show the people.
Every day he drinks it.
It's a mango smoothie, extra whip, courtesy of the good people over there at Birmingham Roast. It's the best stuff going.
My goodness. Tom Mazaway, it kind of matches your shirt a little bit. Good afternoon to you.
It does not match my shirt, and I've been abused all day by the boys in the back for wearing the pack today.
Why would you wear that?
It's just a shirt, man.
Why would you wear it?
I like the Packers. I like NFL teams. I wore the Cardinals last week. No one's complained about me wearing the Cardinals.
They're not in the division. They haven't dominated for 30 years.
I don't think anyone can look at me and know that I'm not a Lion junkie. Everyone knows that. Right. I just wear whatever NFL shirt's on sale, I'm buying.
You're an NFL junkie.
I'm an NFL junkie.
You're an NFL junkie.
Let's go, fellas.
JB with us today. Parker with us today. Gentlemen, thanks for being here. Bray, let me get right into it if we could. We're going to have Dan Miller, by the way, top of hour number 2. We'll get his take, as we will, each and every Wednesday here throughout the football season on those Detroit Lions. So Dapper Dan joins us top of hour number 2. Want to get into it. Dan Campbell spoke about an hour ago. Again, if you're watching live, if you're doing this on your own time, well, he spoke earlier on Wednesday. One of the things he was talking about is losing C.J. Gardner-Johnson. Says his energy is infectious. I hate it for him. I hate it for us. But man, this train doesn't stop. And there's a chance because of the clean injury that he had. He will have surgery for it because of the clean injury that he had. They may get him back. And now it's all about next man up. But, Braylon, I wanted to ask you about this. Not so much from an on-the-field perspective, but when you talk about an infectious type energy, when you lose a player like that, even if it's 4 weeks, 6 weeks, 8 weeks, however long it is, how much does that portion of it kind of hinder a team, kind of get a team down? Or are these guys already over this by Wednesday?
No, you know what? This is what happens is you feel that loss. You know, that loss is there. That person has that type of energy. When that person comes into the huddle, you feel that connection. You feel that excitement. When that person makes a play, when you make a play and that person comes up to you, you feel it, you hear it on the sideline. That person is going to be a part of the game, and that person that we're talking about is C.J. Gardner-Johnson. So in the beginning, Ryan, when they come out against Atlanta, when they get on defense and C.J. Gardner-Johnson, he's not out there, and it's going to suck. First couple of plays, he's not in the huddle, he's not out there, and they're reminded of that because they can't hear him. But once you start to get some other players at that position making plays, whether it's Kirby Joseph, whether it's a Brian Branch, whether it's a Tracy Walker, when you get guys making plays, that's when C.J. Gardner-Johnson's energy returns to the field. And that's when they say, you know what, he's not here, but he's with us. Come on, we can still do this. Let's go out there and do this. So early on, they'll notice it, and you'll notice it too. But once you get that first safety to make a play, that first DB to make a play, and then they start to get infectious, then it'll start to come back. And these are good teams, right? We said the Lions are one of those good teams. Guy, next man up, just like Dan Campbell said. It sounds insensitive, but it's a real thing. It's next man up. These guys have a good coach. These guys have a good system. I think they'll be all right.
That's my guy. We all know that. And that's a tough one. From what I'm worried about, just going forward, I think they do have the depth that they didn't have in the past. I'm okay with that. Brian Branch is going to step up his rookie game now. He's going to get coached up. I think CJ, GJ will stay with the team as much as he can, coach those guys up, like I think Aaron Rodgers will eventually get back with the Jets. But I don't want this guy leaving after the 1-year contract. I want this guy on my team. I even wrote something yesterday on X, on Twitter, and I said it out. I just want the Lions to keep this guy, because look what happens now. He gets all these one-year deals with the Saints, then the Eagles, now with the Lions. He was here to prove himself. He said it. I want to be here, but if I'm not going to be here, then I'm going to be somewhere else. I want this guy on my team going forward. I don't know. Do you guys agree with me on that?
Yeah, this got to be on your team moving forward. I mean, a pec injury isn't an ACL injury. It's not an Achilles injury. You can injure a pec and still even return that same season, which means next year he'll be fine. I think C.J. Gardner-Johnson so far, in terms of the offseason, his attitude, his intensity that he brought here, and even what you saw in the first 2 game sample size, he's one of the guys. He's one of those Detroit Lions. What we talked about yesterday, too, it's all about, Ryan, this is one thing you say a lot. It's about when you face a team and how you play a team in matchups. But the good thing about this matchup is you lose CJ. You lose him. However, look at the team you're playing. Desmond Ridder is not a passing phenom with the Atlanta Falcons. All they do right now is run the ball, which right now you're holding teams at 83.5 yards on the run. So this game is the perfect game to get your secondary in line, get them balanced to see where you're going to do now that CJ will not be with you for a very long time.
Woodward Sports has expanded its daily lineup. Booner and Broder pair up for Woodward Nights, 8 to 10 p.m. Absolutely. 2 of Detroit's up-and-coming sports personalities for the hottest takes, the best entertainment. Join them Monday through Friday, 8 to 10. Booner and Broder. Catch them on our Woodward Sports YouTube channel. Braylon, I think you're spot on there too with CJ and Maz. I agree with you. I'd like to see this guy stick around here for a long time.
He's a Lion.
But in terms of
he's a villain
of morale, anytime you lose one of your most important players, I do think that is a shot to the team. But you know, and Dan Campbell talked about this today, that they have total confidence in Tracy Walker. I think Tracy Walker, prior to the injury last year, was the vocal leader for the Detroit Lions, was the emotional leader for the Detroit Lions, was the leader of the secondary. And, you know, you can really measure a man, too, when you're down a little bit.
Yeah.
Tracy Walker was playing special teams for this team.
Yep.
He was still coming to work every day, doing what he can do to be the best teammate. He didn't sulk. He didn't go in the tank. He didn't try to be a cancer in the locker room. He didn't pout. He just kept showing up to work. He stayed ready, and it's people like that you want in your organization. It's players like that that you want in your locker room, and of course, it's talent like that any championship team has a depth about them to where you can lose a player like C.J. Gardner-Johnson, as talented as he is, and it doesn't stop you from achieving all your goals. Tracy Walker is going to be really big for this team, in my opinion.
That was well said. You know, that is definitely well said. Being in the NFL, one of the things you pay attention to, Ryan, is when a guy gets injured. How is that guy going to be on the sideline? How is that guy going to be when he returns? How is he going to be when he's on second or third team trying to fight his way back to first team or third team trying to fight his way back to second team? And you pay attention to those guys that weather the storm. You pay attention to those guys that stay around. Tracy Walker is a guy that they paid 2 years ago. They paid him an extension, or a year ago, paid him an extension, 3 years, $24 million. They paid him that extension for a reason. Believed in his energy. They believed in what he brought to the Detroit Lions. He's still here, and now it's time to step up. Just like Dan Campbell said, that next man step up, that is a real thing. I remember LaDainian Tomlinson went down for 2 weeks. Sean Green, who was our running back at the time when I was with the Jets, he had to step up. He had to BLT. He had to fill those shoes. And for those 2 weeks, he definitely filled those shoes. Brought that same energy. It's got to be next man up. And Tracy Walker, he got paid for a reason.
I will say this about my 2 favorite teams, with the Giants as well. It's just bad luck. The Jets, what happened to them, 75 seconds with Aaron Rodgers at the helm. It's supposed to be their year. The Lions knocked 4 starters, maybe 5, out of that first game at home against the Seahawks. It's just bad luck. Remember how we were saying Lions' luck is changing? I hope it does, but it just doesn't. It doesn't feel right to me right now. I'll be honest. I'm a little nervous about the rest of the season. I am.
What gives you? What causes those nerves, I guess, what I'm asking? Is it offensively? Is it defensively? Is it the coach? Because is it just the injuries? I'm trying to get at the core of what leads you down that road.
Well, it is the injuries, because we all know you must stay healthy to do well. And the Lions last year were one of the healthiest teams and albeit in the second half of the year. This kind of happened to them last year when they didn't have as much depth in the first half of the year. A bunch of guys went down, and they got better. I've already forgotten about Jamison Williams. I've already basically forgotten about him. But he does come back in 3 more games after this week. So I'm hoping that's going to be a lift for them. But Amon-Ra St. Brown going down now with a toe injury. It's the little things like that. Taylor Decker's down with an ankle. And not only that, he's got the bad no, he doesn't have the bad toe. Frank Ragnall's got the bad toe. But, it's just it's the most important guys on the field. That offensive line where you have the most money, Vaitai goes down. I don't know how long he's going to be out. When Dan Campbell's fixing his clothes and looking down and moving his head and saying they're going to be out a while, that's a while. And I hope they have enough to get by. My man Dan Skipper's back on the practice squad. Welcome back, Skip.
Hey, Tom, I agree with you. There is something to worry about. Ryan, I'll answer your question. For me, that question you asked, Maz, yes, it's a mixture of things. It's a mixture of the injuries, but it's injuries at positions that we already kind of had question marks about. When one of your interior defensive tackles that you expected a lot of this year, he gets injured, now you're thinking about that position even more. When the secondary player that you brought in to shore up a secondary last year that was on the way to being historically bad, when he gets injured and you're already looking at your cornerbacks like where they've been, that's cause of concern. And then the position that was the most dominant for the Detroit Lions, well, the guy that's arguably been the heart and soul of that line is Taylor Decker. When he gets injured, you now move Panay to left tackle, and it just didn't look that good. So my issue is, yes, it's with the injuries, but as it relates to the positions that it affects.
Okay, fair enough.
Yeah.
I just trying to get down to the bottom of some of the issues or some of the concerns that we're faced with here. Just going back to the defense for a second, and then I will address that offensive line. Yeah. Defensively, there seems to be this, crazy freak out. Oh, Aaron Glenn. This is freak out about Aaron Glenn as a defensive coordinator.
Is he playing?
What if I told you that in the last 12 games that Aaron Glenn has been the defensive coordinator for the Detroit Lions the Detroit Lions have held opponents to 20 points or under in 7 of the 12 games? You would say that's pretty freaking good, wouldn't you?
Damn good.
He put up 37 points, 31 points in regulation against Seattle. That's only the 3rd time in the past 12 games that a team has scored 30 points on the Lions. That gives you a chance. This guy gives you a chance to win every game. I'm sorry, I don't understand this all of a sudden overreaction to Aaron Glenn's defense. I just don't understand.
I'm not overreacting to Aaron Glenn.
No, I know you are. Yeah. I don't think we are here.
Yeah.
Maybe Maz a little bit.
No.
He
didn't throw a pick six or fumble.
He didn't. He absolutely did.
But just collectively as a Detroit Lions fan base, where is this Aaron Glenn freak out coming from?
Well, to your point, there does not need to be an Aaron Glenn freak out. But I think some of the people that are a little perturbed, they're worried about the last 2 games. They're worried about it. Seems like defensive backs have been out of place a lot of times. They seem like they have been out of place with the wide receivers. Wide receivers are seeming to get open. The defensive tackles, the defensive ends haven't seemed to be able to get to the quarterback. So it's not a freak out.
Okay.
I think people are just more so like, hey, what's going on? This is supposed to be the defense that for the last 10 games last year you saw what they did, and then you add some pieces in the offseason. I think people wanted to see a little bit more. That's all.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
Guys, we're going to take a break. When we come back, what is the identity of the Detroit Lions? What is their calling card right now at this very moment and this season? Who are they? We'll have that for you coming up. But first, a message from Mark White.
When buying or selling real estate, flexibility and control over the sales process is key. Sellers, how would you like the freedom of canceling your listing agreement for any time, for any reason, without any penalty? That is exactly what Mark White and Associates is offering. It's called their minute-by-minute listing agreement by Mark White and Associates. Try Mark White's risk-free minute-to-minute listing agreement today. Looking to buy or sell real estate? Visit markwhitesells.com or call 248-290-8242. markwhitesells.com, where flexibility meets success.
At work and at home, we're there with smarter security solutions. Featuring complete automation with customized alerts and more. For over 90 years, we've been the company that's been counted on to protect what matters most, all with personalized service and care. Right now, for a limited time, receive a free video device plus free installation with a new home system. Guardian Alarm. We protect Michigan.
The sports marketing agency would not be who we are without great community partners like Higuera Health and Carol Zuniga.
It's an awesome opportunity to partner with your organization. Higuera Health is a comprehensive behavioral health organization. We serve children through older adults with mental health, substance use, and developmental disabilities across Western Wayne counties, and really excited to now be in downriver communities as well. Give us a call at 734-458-4601.
You know what time it is, your local plug, Dispo Romeo, open till midnight, and guess what? We will be there this Friday. Coming up, it's the best place to be. It's Dispo, over 12 locations in the state. We were at Whitmore Lake last week, right by Ann Arbor, right next to the big house. We were close, but oh so far. Open to midnight now. This is the thing, 21 and up only, recreational only, but they got the best brands and the best way to consume your cannabis. Dispo Romeo, join us Friday.
Guys, welcome back. Woodward Sports Network. The Lions did make some roster moves today. They signed running back Zonovan Knight and offensive lineman Coyote Awasaki to the active
twice.
roster. What's that?
I said, say that fast.
You're
twice.
right. Awasika.
You will see cool.
Yeah. Awasika. They released defensive lineman Chris Smith from the practice squad. They signed a linebacker, a cornerback, a running back, and, of course, Dan Skipper back to the practice squad. Good to see you.
That's the guy.
Good
Big
to see
Skip's
you.
coming back.
Guys, at his press conference today, one of the things that Dan Campbell said, which I think is appropriate and great, but it intrigued me a little bit to look a little further, is he said, how do we beat this team? We need to establish our identity. So it begs the question, who are the Detroit Lions? Are they a attacking defensive team? Are they a running the football team? Are they a Jared Goff slinging around team? And I think it's easy to kind of point to that offensive line and say, well, they're a running team. They've got two games this year. In both games, they rushed for over 100 yards. But I don't feel like that. I don't feel like they're this just ground and pound type running attack team that is going to beat you that way. I feel like they are a balanced team.
I feel like they're a team that capitalizes on the energy in the moment. I think on defense, they're a bend but not break defense. We've seen them at times have some blunders and be out of position, but we've also seen them make tremendous plays at tremendous times. I think they feed off each other's energy, like when Alexander Zaloni gets that big tackle on Geno Smith. I think it feeds on the offensive side, and I think above all things, I think you're a team that goes for it. You're a gambling team, and you feed off the excitement of going for it on 4th and 2. You feed off the excitement of getting a fake punt against Arrowhead, quieting that crowd down, or in the case of being at Ford Field, raising that crowd up. So I think you're a guy efficiently offensively with Jared Goff, not a running team. You're more efficiently a passing team over the middle to, say, Amon-Ra St. Brown, Sam Laporta, and you feed off the energy of going for it on 4th and 2. And on defense, you're a bend but don't break. They never break, but they bend at times.
I believe that they're a Jared Goff. He's in the pocket. He's protected by that big offensive line, and he's doing the dump pass to Jahmyr Gibbs. He's throwing the ball to Amon-Ra St. Brown. Exactly what Braylon said. Josh Reynolds is a huge part of this offense all of a sudden, first 2 weeks. I don't think that changes. So if Jared Goff stays clean, I think the Lions will be okay on offense. On defense, we all know it. They haven't attacked the quarterback yet. Game 1, they got close. They got close to Mahomes. They did not even touch Geno Smith until the last down of the game that the Seahawks had the ball inside their own 5-yard line. And Geno obviously was running for his life, kept the ball way too long. Probably shouldn't have been sacked by Anzalone, but he was. That's the team that they are. And it sucks that they lost their vocal leader on defense in CJ GJ. Yeah. But the linebackers, Derek Barnes has stepped up pretty good. He looked good. But they got to get a rush on the passer. James Houston's loss is big, man. He's out, man. He's out 2 months. 2 freaking months. They got to find a way to get to that quarterback on defense, right?
Here's a big thing that makes me scared, though. This is another problem that they have right now. When they don't have Dave Montgomery at the running back position, they haven't run the ball well. Even when Dave Montgomery was there against the Chiefs, had a low yards per carry, but he still was making plays. He still had a 7-yard run here. He had an 8-yard run here. By not having him, Jahmyr Gibbs, who's not a between-the-tackles type runner, at least they haven't shown us that yet. Craig Reynolds not necessarily looking good between the tackles. Teams know you can't run the ball.
Yep.
So now you don't have to have 7 guys in the box. You don't have to have 6 guys in the box. They can play 3 guys in the box and play a zone, and they also don't trust you in your passing game because they really have only seen 1 guy for you right now.
Yep.
That's the problem. If you can't run the ball, they can play 3 guys in the box on us, and they can just play zone, and it'd be a nightmare. That's why you have to find or establish the run. I'm going to be eager to see kind of what Ben Johnson does this week. What will the running game package look like? Because you need that to open up the pass.
Don't forget, you're going against Bijan Robinson, who's had 2 great weeks as a rookie. And that Atlanta team is nothing to fool around with. Desmond Ridder is like their only question mark, basically. That's a pretty good team. And Arthur Smith, he rolls the dice too. He's like Dan Campbell. So do not fall asleep on this team.
You know, the Lions, though, have shown over the last 2 weeks that they do have the ability to hold running backs under 100 yards.
Agreed.
I do think that is pretty important because that's obviously the strength of the Atlanta Falcons offense right now, is to be able to let Bijan Robinson in that running game for the Falcons kind of set up Desmond Ridder in that passing game.
Yeah.
It feels like Detroit kind of uses the pass to set up the run in many different spots.
Yeah.
Atlanta and many other teams run to set up the
100%.
pass. And that is one area that the Lions have been, I think, pretty good at. Now, they're giving up a lot of yards through the air. And, of course, in week 1, there were a lot of drops that probably would have made those stats look a lot worse. Would it have affected the game? We don't know. Maybe, but we don't know. Either way, it feels like this defense, though, is going to have to come slow down Bijan Robinson, and you can now be one of those teams. Okay, make Desmond Ridder beat you.
Yeah.
If Desmond Ridder's going to come in here and beat you, make him come in here and beat you.
Yeah, 100%. If Desmond Ridder comes in here and throws for 449 yards and 4 touchdowns, you know what, they deserve the game, and I have no arguments. I mean, I'm mad at the defense, but hey, he earned that. But Desmond Ridder's not that guy. That's not what he's coming to do. He's coming in here to hand the ball off to Bijan Robinson, and then when you get tired, here's Kyle Pitts over the middle, or here's Drake London. If you could ever find those 2 guys, let me know.
Kyle Pitts is invisible.
Fantasy guy.
Invisible.
He's been invisible since his 1,000-yard season.
What happened to him? He's supposed to be a unicorn.
He was a 1,000-yard tight end as a rookie and hasn't done anything since. But they haven't found their offense yet right now, and that's the good thing. Dan Campbell talked about it. Don't let the Detroit Lions be the team that give them their offense, that allow them to start getting the passing game going. Right now, they are Bijan left, Bijan right, Bijan up the middle, spread Bijan out, throwing the ball on the outside as well. Don't let them get their offense started on you guys.
And again, defensively for the Lions, I think part of the excitement for this year was, feeling that these guys were going to make a huge jump. The James Houstons, the Aiden Hutchinsons, the safety Kirby Joseph. Those 3 players specifically. Now, of course, Houston is out for at least 6 to 8 weeks, so he's not. I mentioned the other day, Aiden Hutchinson, to me, played a bad game. Not an okay game, a bad game. Aiden Hutchinson has to be better. Kirby Joseph was spectacular last season. I haven't really heard his name be called much either this year. Where is that big jump? We have not seen that big jump in weeks 1 and 2, but it's year 2. You just automatically think that these guys were going to get better and make this huge jump. We have not seen that so far anyway.
And he's got a bum hip right now.
Now he does, absolutely.
Kirby Joseph.
Kirby Joseph. Kirby Joseph. It was funny. Somebody sent to the group chat yesterday. I think you sent the stat that said Aiden Hutchinson leads the league in
pressures,
in QB pressure.
Yeah.
I was like, that to me, that's like phony money. I get it. It's cute. I need you to get to the quarterback. I need you to get sacks. I need you to get through double teams. I told you what Michael Strahan said years ago. I was watching something. He said, man, I used to get double teamed when I was a rookie, and I used to hate it. He said, my coach told me, he said, take it as a sign of respect. He said, now I need you to get the F off those double teams. You got to learn how to get off those double teams. I need you to get to the quarterback. You got to be a guy. When you take somebody second overall, Second overall in the NFL draft. Look at the guys making plays. T.J. Watt the other night wins the game for his team. Micah Parsons is all over the place. You gotta get to the quarterback. That is the name of the game. When you draft a guy like that, second overall, that's so you can get to the quarterback. That's so that you can affect the game. If you're not doing that, then why do we draft you second overall?
Well, excuse me, in fairness to that, because, again, Trayvon Walker and Kayvon Thibodeau and Hutchinson are always going to be
struggling,
linked. They're not. None of them are any good.
You know what Thibodeau's saying in New York? Thibodeau in New York is like, don't just judge me on my stats. That's what he's saying to the New York fans right now. What the hell else are we going to do?
Well, here's where I'll agree with him a little bit, and it goes back to the Parsons effect. Parsons can affect a game
in many ways,
and have it not register on any stat sheet.
Okay.
I mean, that's. I'm not comparing Kayvon Thibodeau to Micah Parsons.
Thank you.
Or Aiden Hutchinson to Micah Parsons, but there are those plays out there where you do affect a play without getting on the stat sheet.
No, and I agree with that, but also those players still affect the stat sheet in the stat sheet too. Like you definitely can affect the game by, doing a little thing that doesn't get, maybe on a receiving route, I went full speed on my clear route, so everybody thought I was good, and the tight end leaks out and catches the pass. I affected that play. But Micah Parsons affects the game in the stat column as well. And I'm not saying anything. And this is where I will push back on that and say maybe this is where Aaron Glenn can help Aiden Hutchinson. Who puts that guy? That's Dan Quinn. Dan Quinn finds many ways to use Micah Parsons. He uses him on the right, the left. He uses him delayed blitz. He uses him a little on the inside, moves him in the slots, allow him to play man-to-man on certain tight ends. He moves him around. Maybe that's on Aaron Glenn. Maybe Aaron Glenn can find a way to use Aiden Hutchinson in different ways.
Yeah, did you see him line up the other day at 4 different locations?
Yes, in like 4 plays.
Every single one of the different plays where he lined up.
He's almost unblockable.
Remember we were having that argument about Micah and Panay and the day.
I'll always remember it.
Hey, speaking of Panay, you're going to hear from him next. Just the mood of the team, the attitude of the team. Where are they? And more from Dan Campbell as well. Lots to get to. Dan Miller coming up in about 30 minutes. But first, a message from Planet Fitness.
Yes, Planet Fitness is your home of the judgment-free zone where anyone, and I do mean anyone, can feel comfortable and work on their fitness goals. At Planet Fitness, you'll experience a squeaky clean gym with tons of equipment, a full-body workout in just 30 minutes, and a 30-minute circuit, and all memberships include fitness training. And yes, they are still just $10 a month. For more information or to join today, visit your local Planet Fitness, or as always, check them out online at planetfitness.com.
Join Woodward Sports' own Jeff Iafrate along with special WSN guests for the most anticipated Lions season in decades. Filled with different surprises and expert analysis. You're not going to want to miss out. Go to our Woodward Sports YouTube channel on Sundays and tune in live from 9:30 to 11:30 a.m.
Hey, this is Mr. Kearney, Chief Academic Officer, Academy of Warren. I want to welcome you to the brand new Field House. The state-of-the-art facility has a regulation basketball court, volleyball court, soccer field. It can be used for 7-on-7 football. Our K-8 academic features AM, PM, latchkey, small classroom sizes, learning street, futuristic media center, free breakfast and lunch, Holton Mifflin curriculum, academic games, K-8 athletics, and more. Enroll today at academywarren.net.
Woodward Sports' own Tom Mazaway and Sam Stick Day will be hosting our Lions postgame show after every Lions game all season long. Tune into the Woodward Sports YouTube channel for his hot-off-the-press takes, game analysis, and Kool-Aid sipping celebrations. You won't want to miss it. Join Maz, Stick, and special guests each week immediately following every Lions game, exclusively on the WSN YouTube channel.
Hey guys, you all know you want to play golf like a celebrity, and thanks to Randy Wise and Woodward Sports, you're going to be able to do just that. The Randy Wise Celebrity Golf Tour. Make the wise choice. Pay attention to us here at Woodward Sports for more of the details.
It definitely humbles you, and I hope the guys come in with that same mindset of what we were a year ago. It's just different now. There's too many people riding the wave. There's too many people talking, and for myself, that never bothers me. I don't like to, no offense to y'all, but I really don't give a damn what y'all say. So I think the team's got to humble back, go back to the drawing board. And it's just us against everybody. So we just got to keep that same mindset.
This guy's been an incredible leader, I think. More and more a vocal leader for the Detroit Lions as well, Penei Sewell. And they need him now more than ever with the injuries that the Detroit Lions are being faced with. It did not appear, does not appear that Taylor Decker is going to play this week. Dan Campbell's still not sure, but at the same time says he doesn't feel like there's any sort of confidence level that he has that
he ain't playing.
He's going to have Taylor Decker out there. So you're going to have a little bit of a jumbled offensive line again. They do believe they have 7 starters. They're going to need starters 6 and 7 to come out there and perform this week. It does feel like you have to steal one.
I recognize this speech at the podium. You know, you definitely have to steal one, but I recognize this kind of speak at the podium. I've been at the podium before, and where you just lost the game that you should win, and you know there were miscues. And what you want to do is you'll have injuries. You want to remind the team, you want to remind the media that the message to the team, we got to stay the course. It's just us. It's us versus you guys, or us versus the rest of the league. We're going to show our stuff up. You guys can say whatever you want. We don't give a damn. We're about this locker room. Like, that's what you tell the media. Like this conversation you said at the podium, that way you keep it real. You let guys know we heard you, but we got this. We'll figure it out. But the conversation that those guys are having in this locker room is that wasn't good enough. That's the conversation you have. When you enter and become a team that you're expected to win your division, potentially get to your conference championship, that wasn't enough. Can't have the turnovers, can't have the miscues, can't have the drops, can't have the fumbles, can't have bad coaching in certain moments. Everybody has to take in that loss. Now, look, it's not the end of the world. It was a loss. This is the NFL teams lose. But I guarantee you, a good ball club like this, they're in that locker room saying, how do we get better? We shore up the things that we can control. We talked about this when we first started the show. Sins, self-inflicted negatives. You got to get rid of the self-inflicted negatives. Right now, the Detroit Lions are beating themselves. They're beating themselves. So self-inflicted negatives, they got to go back to the drawing board. That's what you really focus on during training camp. Hey, how do we control the narrative? Self-inflicted negatives.
Listen,
so well said.
Yesterday you asked if this was a must-win game. It is. It's a must-win game. You don't want to go 0-2 at home to start your season, and then 4 days later you're at Lambeau Field playing against Green Bay in your division. Yeah, they're banged up a little too. They have a new quarterback in Jordan Love. Aaron Jones is down right now. So they're not at full strength. So is Christian Watson. Hasn't played yet. But the Packers are going to be a lot tougher than you think they are going to be. No. They need this game against Atlanta, who's a pretty damn good team. Was in every game last year to the end. Marcus Mariota did the best he could. Couldn't finish the season out. That's when Desmond Ridder came in. They gave him a chance. Arthur Smith, they play for this guy. They like this coach. They like the Lions. They're on the way up as well. I don't know if they have as much talent as the Lions do, but they're definitely a team on the rise. They love their owner, Arthur Blank, and they love their coach, Arthur Smith. This is going to be a tough game. I think the Lions must win this game.
It's going to be a tough game, Tom Mazaway. I agree with you 100%. They're going to win this game. It is a must, though. You got to look at it like this. You can't drop 2 back-to-back home games in your same conference. You can't do it. This is a must-win. Now, maybe not must-win in the sense of, if they don't do this, they're not getting the playoffs or yada, yada. Right. This is a must-win for who you are. 3. This is a must-win for who your identity is in this league. But let me talk about Green Bay for just 2 seconds. I watched them play. I didn't get the chance to see week 1, so all I saw was the stats. And I said, Jordan Love, maybe he's better than I thought he was. I watched him. It's Matt LaFleur. Matt LaFleur is putting Jordan Love in amazing situations, just like an offensive coordinator should. Right. Put him in great situations. They haven't even really had to worry about, with the exception of a little bit of time, and with the Falcons. But he's not doing anything special. I haven't seen one throw where I was like, damn, how you make that throw? I haven't seen one drop back, elusive play. I did see him scramble. He's a little faster than I thought he was, but I don't think he's anything special. I don't think the Lions have anything to worry about. Matt LaFleur is putting him in great positions, so I will say that.
Here's a question that I have about this week, and it's in regards to Amon-Ra St. Brown, who is day-to-day has a toe injury. That thing can linger and linger and linger and linger. Ari Meirov put a tweet out. Amon-Ra St. Brown dealing with a toe injury and will not practice today. That's what Dan Campbell said at his press conference today. The team considers him day-to-day. Here's the question I have, and where I go back to the do they have to steal one here?
Right.
Do you sit Amon-Ra St. Brown? You've got a game in your division next week with maybe a team that you are competing against for a division championship, and that is the Green Bay Packers. You go Sunday, road game Thursday. Can you beat the Atlanta Falcons at home without Amon-Ra St. Brown? I think that is a huge question that Dan Campbell is going to have to ask himself. I consider Amon-Ra St. Brown one of those guys, outside of Jared Goff, I think he is the least expendable player that you can move forward with. But if he plays Sunday, can he then come back on 3 days rest and play an NFL football game on the road in Green Bay within your division? I think that's a pretty big question this week. Do you sit Amon-Ra to make sure that he's able to play against the Packers on Thursday Night Football?
He better get ready for a shot in his foot, because we need you this week, and we need you next week, and we need you the week after that. It's a good thing about him being in year 3 and being a little bit younger. Bro, we need you. Like, this is, you got to get every win you can. Teams that you thought were bad are a little bit better than that. There's no wiggle room. There's no looking at the board and like, win. These games are going to be hard fought. I think we'll beat the Falcons. I think we could beat them without him. But at the same time, we've been struggling trying to find a second receiver. And now he sits down. Now you got to put all that on Josh. Just like we know that Josh is the only receiver that Jared Goff's thrown to, the defensive coordinator for the Falcons knows that too. You sit him and you depend on Sean Laporta and you depend on Josh Reynolds. I just can't see it. You need Amon-Ra St. Brown.
Want the latest information on the Detroit Lions? The Lions Insiders have you covered with shows twice a week. Gabrielle D. Phillips, Matt Broder, and the legend Terry Foster bring you the latest news and breakdowns Tuesday mornings from 7 to 8, Sunday mornings from 8 to 9. Lions Insider Show, your first stop for game day. Check them out on the Woodward Sports YouTube channel. Maz?
We heard the press conference together, you and I, in the back. And he said, Dan Campbell, we got a bunch of guys that if they play this week, there's a chance that they don't play at Green Bay. Mm-hmm. And the first word out of my mouth to you was St. Brown. He's banged up. I don't know if he could play. He sat out one play last week. On Sunday. They took him out. He was limping off the field. He came back a play later. I watched the game again last night. And then he got the 4th down pass. Remember that play?
Yep.
Kept the drive going. He's hobbling, man. Now, Braylon, you're a receiver. You get a bad toe. Frank Ragnow with his bad toe, it cost him a bunch of games. You're a wide receiver, and you got a bad toe. Can you keep shooting it up and going out there?
What toe is it? Is it your big toe?
Big toe.
Is it
it's
your
big
big
toe? That's what they were. That's what they showed on the broadcast of them working on and putting the.
The big toe is a bitch.
Yeah.
Excuse my French. I know there are kids listening to the show.
I don't know if I want to put him out there.
Big toe is definitely a. It's one of those things that hurts. But once again, Ryan and Monty, like, listen, I know we live in the era now where it's, you got to take care of the player. Everything is PG. You don't want to offend anybody with the gladiator rules. This is a gladiator sport. Sometimes you got to go. I've seen guys play with broken necks, and no, was it smart? Maybe not. But I've seen guys play with broken necks. I've seen guys play with groins. Hell, Jericho Cotchery, I've seen him make one of the best catches I have ever seen in game, New York Jet, with a sprained groin that he sprained in warm-ups and still played. Oh. So what I say to Amon-Ra St. Brown and the Lions coaching staff, training staff, if it's serious enough where it's going to be one of those things like Deion, basically his career ended because of a turf toe.
Yeah.
So I know how bad those toes can be.
Look how bad a shape he's in now.
100%. So if it's on that type of line, the rest Amon-Ra St. Brown, and hell, you may have to rest him the Green Bay week as well, because the season, like you said, Ryan, there are way more games towards the end and we're going to need him. But if it's something that it's a pain tolerance type deal where how bad is it? Man, you're going to have to bite down on that tile and keep it rolling.
Well, pain tolerance, that's the one guy. He's probably the one guy on the team that I would not care about pain. He would go out there, I think, if it was pain.
His father's Mr. Universe.
If he can't cut or be effective, but you think that extra, week of rest would help, I'd rather you play against Green Bay. That one counts for 2.
And that's what I'm saying. How bad is it? That's why I asked the question. I said, if it's bad, because you asked the question, would you sit him?
Would you sit him? If you're on the fence, would you sit him?
Which is exactly why my answer was Dan Campbell asked Amon-Ra St. Brown, can you go both weeks? Can you go this week and can you go the following week with what your toe feels now? And however he answers is what I would rock with.
Antoine Green is even down with a concussion. You don't know if you have him. They are really low on wide receivers right now.
Which is a position of concern going into the season.
Correct. And they're really low on running backs. They're not going to be 1-6, but this ain't the start we needed.
You know who you do need right now, and we mentioned his name the other day, and a
Jamal
couple
Williams.
of people in the chat are mentioning him right now as well. You need Marvin Jones this week. It's one of those weeks you got to steal one from Marvin Jones. Now, Marv is the oldest wide receiver on an NFL roster in 2023. But maybe you got Marv for a game like this where you just need him right now. Khalif Raymond, you just need him. And how does that affect Josh Reynolds? Look, Josh Reynolds has been really good for the Detroit Lions this year. But you know what? Josh Reynolds has been playing in that number 2 receiver, that number 3 receiver.
Yeah, exactly.
It's a lot
no one's
different
paying attention.
It's a lot different being a number 2 or a number 3 compared to a number 1. And look who I'm telling that to.
No, I'm just saying. I mean, it happens like that. Everybody's like, "Oh, well, Josh Reynolds. I mean, he's getting it done right now." Remember Gabe Davis? Remember he was getting it done and got paid. I ain't seen Gabe Davis since. Because what happens is now defenses focus on you. Now defenses are like, "All right, we saw you were good on film. Here we are. We're focusing on you." Now you can't do the same things and have that same open ability when you're on the backside of someone. But you're right. It's time for him to show up. We talked about it. He's Mr. Consistency. Over his career, he's been 850 yards, 6 touchdowns, 75 or so catches. It's time to get one of those touchdowns, some of those yards, and some of those catches.
You know, going back to just if I'm on Rock Camp play, you might have to go to those 2 tight end sets with Brock
Sam
Wright
Laporte is
and Sam Laporta.
3 tight ends. I'll bring James Mitchell in.
Fine. I mean, you might have to do that for a couple of series here to just, pound away that clock, if nothing else.
I will say this. You know what time this is, Ryan Ermanni?
Oh, I know what time it is.
Maz, this is what time it is. All last year, from especially the beginning of the season, the end of the season, the off season, and even in the last game, whatever, the first game of the season too, we've called somebody a genius. Called somebody on that coaching staff a genius. Say he's the next one. After this season, he's probably going to take a coaching job somewhere. You know who that guy is? It's Ben Johnson. It's time for Ben Johnson to earn his paycheck. When you call offensive coordinators geniuses, when you call defensive coordinator geniuses, it is moments like this and adversity like this where they get to make show. Show me that you're a genius. Come up with a package for this game on short notice. This is the NFL. Nobody wants to hear that your starting running back is out. Nobody wants to hear that you don't have a 2 receiver that you trust. You better figure it out, and you better figure it out by Sunday. It's time to earn that chicken, Ben Johnson.
And one of the guys that we think who's going to help him earn that chicken is Sam Laporta. You'll hear what Dan Campbell had to say about him coming up next. But first, a message from SMA.
The sports marketing agency helps spread awareness about mental health and substance abuse. Their podcast, This is the S Word, helps fight the stigma about seeking help. If you or someone you know is struggling, head to thesportsma.com, thesportsma.com, the sports marketing agency. They're here to help.
Brace yourselves, Detroit. As the sun begins to set, 2 of Woodward Sports' brightest young stars will be taking the mic for a brand new show. Woodward Nights with Spooner and Broder. The dog days in Detroit are over, and the boys are unleashed. Join in on the banter and hop on the bandwagon of the #1 night show on the internet. Tune into the Woodward Sports YouTube channel every weeknight from 8 to 10 p.m. Woodward Nights with Spooner and Broder.
Come to any Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men for an award-winning haircut experience from one of our talented stylists and register for a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity to win an all-expenses-paid suite for the 2024 NCAA tournament for you and 5 of your best buds. That's right, college basketball's most elite event. You and your 5 best friends just get to any Lady Jane's today for an award-winning haircut experience and automatically register to win the trip of your dreams. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men, open 7 days a week. Walk in anytime. Lady Jane's, it's wicked awesome.
Woodward Sports' own Tom Mazaway and Sam Stick Day will be hosting our Lions postgame show after every Lions game all season long. Tune into the Woodward Sports YouTube channel for his hot-off-the-press takes, game analysis, and Kool-Aid sipping celebrations. You won't want to miss it. Join Maz, Stick, and special guests each week immediately following every Lions game, exclusively on the WSN YouTube channel.
How would you like to win a $100,000 Vegas getaway? Take your closest friends and live it up in the city that never sleeps. It's the Cintron Energy. Drink it and live it. Purchase a 24-pack today and enter to win that $100,000 Vegas getaway at drinkcintron.com/Vegas. You know, you want to look good, feel great, be the best version of yourself. Cintron's the healthiest energy drink you can get out there. Go register for that $100,000 Vegas getaway at drinkcintron.com/Vegas.
I haven't been to Vegas in a long time.
I am not either.
I want to go.
Yeah, we'd love to.
I want to go.
I'm trying to go get it cracking. Maz, you trying to go out there and get it cracking?
I'm going to try.
Take you to the strip club? Take you to
What
James?
would Maz do in Vegas?
I would do anything and everything.
Yes!
Anything and everything.
Don't tell me that.
Would you go to the strip club?
Of course I would.
Hell yeah.
Would you sit? You used to deal blackjack, right?
I did at MGM. I dealt blackjack.
You thought that edible had something for you. Wait till we go to Vegas.
And they worked in that other business you were just talking about.
Oh, you were a bouncer back in the day in Jersey?
No, not a bouncer. Manager.
Manager.
Manager. I had my friends bouncing for me.
Oh, my gosh.
Excuse
how
me.
old were you when you did that, when you were a manager?
Let's see.
My friends.
Most of my adult life. I would say from 19 to 30. I was in the restaurant bar business.
I wouldn't say that is most of your adult life.
Well, 19
Since
to
you're
30.
60-something now.
Most of my fun years were in the restaurant bar
For
business.
the last 30 years, Maz has gone all downhill.
I could just see Maz look one of those suits with the wide collars.
I did have it. I dressed good.
You had a
I
gold
dressed
chain?
good. No gold chain.
You had a gold chain.
I dressed to the nines.
Maz, I know you had a gold chain.
Listen to me.
You had some hush puppies on?
Nicholas Duncan says Maz was Hoffa's bookie.
Hey, there might be something.
Listen to me. I got to ask a question.
Where's my money?
Can I ask a question to you guys?
Please.
Detroiters in general.
Please.
Hey, Chad, answer me this.
The oldest profession on the man Maz was in.
What the hell? When did the auto show get dropped on us in September during two Lion home games?
I thought it was during, summer.
What the? First of all, I didn't even know it was coming because I heard nothing about it. Remember, it was always in January.
Yeah.
That's the way it started.
Second week in January.
We were the first auto show in the country.
The auto show.
We were
including
the auto
New York
show.
and Chicago.
Then someone said, hey, why don't we move it to June? So I think they moved it to June one year, and then what genius moved it to September when there's two Lion home games? The Tigers are still home. Who came up with this? Who's going to the auto show?
Well, it's an interesting point. I'm sorry.
I know what happened.
It's terrible.
Well, basically what happened is the auto show numbers dropped here, and they start branching it out on purpose, trying to move it out of Detroit, and eventually they moved it to L.A. and Chicago. So now they do it's a four-way tour, but they really wanted to get it to L.A., Chicago, and New York, and they took it out of ours and moved us to the summer because we were messing up anyway. Remember I told you that auto show story? I remember the auto show in 2010 or 11. There was this we call model concept Jag. It was all chrome. It was some ridiculous Jaguar. Guess who stole it?
Who stole it?
Good old Detroit. Stole the Jag that's one of a kind.
Man.
Where the hell are you gonna put a one of a kind?
That's awesome.
Metallic Jag. Well, they fenced it for parts and got everybody involved too.
Wow.
Things like that. When you're doing stuff like that, it causes people to say, maybe we should move it to Chicago and LA, and that's what the hell they did.
So
We're the Motor City.
The Chicago Auto Show, which happened in February 11th to the 20th, the week after the Super Bowl, that seems to be
the new one,
the auto show. Yep. And I think when you are trying, and I don't know, this is just my own opinion. I think people were really trying to figure out, do you want to go to Detroit in January, or do you want to go to Chicago in February, which kind of seems like a wash, to be honest with you.
February's a little warmer.
But I think car companies were putting all their focus into that Chicago auto show. Detroit was like, we got to come up with something. And they settled on the summer one year.
They failed.
COVID happened. Then they've got, I think this auto show in September is
a good one.
Ridiculous.
Exactly.
Ridiculous. Dan Flea says, what's good? Flinttown made it 6 months. I don't know what that means, but he paid for me to say that, so I'm saying it.
Bill Belichick
Flinttown, was that a documentary?
Maybe he made it in Flint for 6 months, and that's a good thing.
But I think
that's true.
I don't know anybody that's gone to the auto show.
No.
If you look at what we had, the kids are back in school.
Yep.
People are back to their regular work schedules.
Football.
There's nobody downtown. Nobody's working at the RenCen. Nobody's working downtown. People are still remote. And even the GM building, which used to house 5,000 daily employees, that's now virtually empty.
That's the one that connects to the official building.
Yeah, no, that's RenCen.
The RenCen.
Oh, the old GM building used to connect to the RenCen, to the Fisher building.
And now also, not only that, guys, but you have, I don't know what it's like in your neighborhood, but Friday nights are relegated to
Netflix and pizza?
high school football.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Saturdays, college football. And on both weekends, Michigan and Michigan State were both at home. They will both be at home this weekend. And the Lions, 2 home games. Yeah. It's a nightmare, I think, for the auto show.
Whoever put it this way,
I don't know one person that
should be
went
fired.
to the auto show.
Honestly,
Just
whoever came up with this concept, I'm sorry. I'm not calling for your job, but you blew it.
Here's where you do have to plan this before the NFL schedule comes out.
Yeah. And they clearly did.
Maybe they were just hoping.
Well, aren't the Tigers usually home?
Yeah, but maybe they didn't care about
Worry
that.
about the Tigers.
Yeah,
We're not their crowd.
So,
aren't there concerts at Little Caesars?
Yeah, but I mean, I just don't think you think about that. But there's just there's festivals all over the place. Either way, I don't know. I just
anyway, it's horrible.
Move it to Christmas.
Yeah.
For the first year in a long time, I'm not going to go to the auto show because
same.
I didn't know it was here.
Right.
Christmas might be a good time to have it.
And you don't know where to go, really, right? I think it's at Huntington Place or Cobo or wherever. What is it? Is it Huntington Place now? What was it before after that? Oh, TCF.
TCF.
That's what I was thinking of. Okay.
Well, they have mostly electric cars anyway, right, that you can't use?
Guys, let me tell you about the Lions pregame show. The Woodward Sports pregame show returns for another season of
What?
Lions
I can
football.
go 2 hours? That's it?
Join Jeff Iafredi with weekly special guest hosts on Woodward Sports YouTube channel, Sunday mornings from 9:30 to 11:30. Lions pregame show all season long right here on Woodward Sports.
How long does it take to get the pump?
YouTube channel. Sam Laporta, we expect a mess. Enough now.
Sorry.
The Lions going to need somebody to step up this week offensively, especially if Amon-Ra can't play. Is Sam Laporta that guy? Here's what the head coach had to say about Laporta.
He's another one of those guys who just quietly gets better. You don't always notice it in practice, but he works extremely hard. He takes it serious. And I think there's a lot of it that, man, when he's out there on game day, there's a lot less stress for him than he is when he's out there with the coaches. He's getting coached up pretty hard, and I think for him. And the other thing is, I know this because he's shown it after 2 weeks, and he did it again yesterday. He is critical moments. He is highly competitive. Like that's a guy you can just tell, and he is not going to cower from that. Those moments. He's a guy who wants to make a play. He wants to make a block. He wants to, and that, man, you can win with those guys. Now he's still a rookie. He's got to be better in the run game, but he is showing up.
Well, you know what? He's excited. He's a former tight end, so he's going to be extra. He's going to be extra hard on Sam Laporta, and in a good way. He's going to show him all the things that he learned, things that kind of work for him. What he's seen other tight ends that have had success. Remember, he was around Jimmy Graham and other tight ends like that. So, this is a guy he wants to see more than others. And I'm not trying to make it about any other guys, but this is his project. This is a guy like him, and he's absolutely right. You look at what he did: 5 catches in the first game, 5 catches in the second game, 5 targets in the first game, 6 targets in the second game. It means he's reliable. It means when the ball goes to Sam Laporta, he makes the play. I mean, you saw that play he made in the fourth quarter. That was a hell of a play. Made the catch, broke the tackle, and got extra yards. So this is somebody that can emerge for Jared Goff as he's looking for a weapon, looking for a guy to get the ball. A short-handed tight end who we knew going into this draft was the best yard after catch tight end in this draft. Maybe he was the best tight end all along in this draft. He can be a guy over that middle that helps Jared Goff get the ball out of his hands faster. Not the offensive line is trying to help out with no Taylor Decker. Got to get the ball out of your hands a little faster, kind of how Geno was getting the ball out of his hands. guy like Sam Laporte can help that process.
Dr. Detroit says, Detroit is the only international auto show. That's why they wanted warmer weather so guests can enjoy the city. Ryan, get your facts straight. You are a Fox 2 reporter. You would think you would be at least not be lazy and find out what you're talking about before and give bad info. Well, here's your bad info.
What was his name?
The idea sucked. All right?
It did.
You want your bad info?
Let me talk to you.
Thank you. Please. L.A. Knight, yeah.
Yeah.
Let me talk to you here, okay? Dr. Detroit, the idea to put the auto show in September sucked. Whatever the reason is, they wanted warm weather, it sucked. You didn't want women to walk through in their gowns in the snow of January. It don't snow in January anymore. You got to wait for February for that.
Yeah.
It's like 40 degrees in January.
True, exactly.
So you're going to move the auto show to September with the Lions playing, Michigan State playing.
Tigers.
High schools all over the place. The cider mills are rocking. We don't have anything to do in the winter. Zero to do in Metro Detroit in the winter. In the fall, there's things to do every freaking day.
Talk about it.
Dr. Detroit, you suck.
Yeah.
And the idea sucked as well.
And
to move it to September.
And by the way,
yeah.
you mean to tell me people weren't coming from overseas in the 70s and the 80s and the 90s and the 2000s? We were the #1 auto show. They've been coming from everywhere for a very long time.
Sometimes people just piss me off.
And you know what? I got your back.
Oh,
You feel better?
God. Yes,
All
I
right.
do feel better.
All right.
God.
All right. L.A.
Stuff
Knight.
I gotta
Dan
deal
Miller coming up next.
with. Oh, man, the stuff I got to deal with on a daily basis.
Yeah.
Get it out.
Thank you, L.A. Knight. My goodness.
Lion fans.
All right, guys. You know what I need? You know what I need now? I need something from Glorious.
You need a drink.
Oh.
Hey, you know what time to talk about Glorious
that.
Cannabis? Look, this is beautiful. By the way, shout out to Bobby
Let's go,
Roode. I saw
JB.
what you did there. Bobby Roode. But yo, Honolulu Blue is the flavor. Look, the Lions lost last week. Time to unwind. Get yourself a little bit Glorious Cannabis. Go to gloriouscanna, CANNA.com. And also, it is at Disbuff. You know that's our spot.
Join Woodward Sports' own Jeff Iafrate, along with special WSN guests for the most anticipated Lions season in decades. Filled with different surprises and expert analysis. You're not going to want to miss out. Go to our Woodward Sports YouTube channel on Sundays and tune in live from 9:30 to 11:30 a.m.
Gabby is a college student struggling to study for her big exam. Then she discovered Syntron, a healthy way for her to stay awake and focus. Jennifer frequently has chaotic days like this until she gets online, orders some Syntron, and finds her groove. April visited her local grocery store, purchased a case of Syntron, and entered to win the Syntron 100K Vegas giveaway. Pick up your case of Syntron today at any Meijer location or visit drinksyntron.com/Vegas and enter for the 100K Vegas giveaway.
Hey, gang, let's talk about Outdoor Equipment Company, your official equipment provider of Woodward Sports Michigan, grown, family-owned, bad boy mowers, tractors, steel handhelds, and even weed whippers. Boy, is that a tongue twister as well. Liberty trailers, Generac generators. You know you're going to need one of those in Michigan. Snow X plows and Salters. Outdoor Equipment Company has all of everything you could ever want. Buy it, rent it, 0% financing, delivered to your doorstep. OutdoorEquipCo.com. OutdoorEquipCo.com. Your power equipment playground.
Hey, are they at the auto show?
I don't know. The fine folks from Outdoor Equipment Company were here in the building yesterday as well. I had a chance to interact with them a little bit. Great people, and they do have Darren McCarty. You know, we're teasing. As part of the partnership with Outdoor Equipment Company, Darren McCarty is actually going to go out with a landscaping crew as part of their Outdoor Equipment Company, and he's going to weed whip and do the zero turn and all that stuff. So it's great stuff. Hour number 2 of the program. Hopefully everybody's doing well. Very good. The great Dan Miller's on the line. Let's go there. No, let's not make him wait.
Did Dan go to the auto show?
Hey, Dan.
What's up, boys? How you doing?
Man, we're having a little fun over here today.
Hey, Dan, did you go to the auto show?
Are you an auto show guy?
I have not been this year. I've been
busy
twice, maybe.
Basically,
twice in 27 years.
Oh,
That's good, right?
That's very good. It's very
yeah.
good. It's
No,
very
I
good.
mean, I think I've been. I can't make it sound any better than that. I've been
Yeah.
twice. I'm not a big guy for crowds, man. I don't like crowds.
Right. Amen to
Yeah, I don't
that.
like parking and walking and yeah.
Right. No, we don't need any of that.
Ermanni will tell you, I like sitting on my couch. That's
Amen.
my idea of a good day.
Oh, man, I'm telling you, you're having a good day today. We're having a good day here today, Dan, because I think we're trying to put Sunday in the past and look forward to this week. But before we do that, just how would you characterize, really, it seemed like a bloodbath on Sunday, just all the injuries and everything. But, hey, this is what teams deal with throughout the year.
Yeah, the physical part of it definitely is problematic because you're missing some key guys now, and they're going to have to reach deep into that depth, Gardner Johnson, that's obviously a big loss, but not many teams have a Tracy Walker there ready to come in, so that helps. Montgomery, depending upon what his status is, that's a big loss. He's there between the tackles guys, and somebody else is going to have to step up. Your offensive line's now taking a couple of hits with Big V and Taylor not playing last week and probably not going to play this week, so that doesn't help. Glasgow's ready to go, but you're kind of cutting into your depth there. Defensively, you've lost Houston, you've lost Pascal. Those are two guys I looked at as big pass rush guys. But, Ryan, your point's a good one. Nobody cares. Nobody feels sorry for you. Just got to saddle up and go. You got to find the other guys that are ready to play. Coaches have to coach them up. Coaches have to come up with something to help you be successful because 2 down, 15 to go, and nobody's going to put the games on hold because you got hurt. And it's a game of attrition. And I don't mean to throw cliches or whatever at you, but it's a fact. You just got to go play now.
Hey, D-Mill, with the starting running back out on Dave Montgomery, still trying to find a number 2 wide out, and then Taylor Decker being out, so moving Panay to the left. The offense did seem a little off, obviously so. How does Ben Johnson help this offense going against Atlanta? How does he simplify it for Jared Goff and get him back on track?
Well, I mean, I would say they scored 31.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, and I mean, the problem is that you had a giveaway at your own 23. You gave it up on downs at your 45, and I'm not here to adjudicate his 4th down decisions because we could do an hour on that every week. And then you had a pick 6. So no doubt, Braylon, there's a couple of empty possessions in there. Yeah. I think this game, and let me say this, I also thought Josh Reynolds stepped up again. I think he's had a great start to the season and played well for this team. But I think that game on Sunday felt a lot like 1-6 felt last year, where they made enough mistakes that they couldn't overcome them. Did some good things offensively, but enough mistakes that they couldn't overcome them. I think the defense had some areas they could improve in, but at the same time, you could say, okay, 7 points are off a pick 6. Right. They did put the defense in a couple of significant holes there, one at the 23 again and one at the 45. So, look, in this game, there's certain things you can't do, and one of them is just beat yourself. You can't just make it easy on the other team. Make them work for it. And, there's 21 points there where they kind of didn't make them work as hard as you could. They didn't make them go the length of the field. They gave them quick turnarounds, and that just makes it difficult to win in this league. I mean, Ermanni gave me the stat from Sunday. Teams that won the turnover battle, 10-3. It's not complicated sometimes.
And if you add the Monday games, 11-3.
11-3. There you go.
No, you're absolutely correct. And I think maybe I didn't make myself more clear. I was more so talking about the next game because David Montgomery did still play in that last game. He still had 61 yards. I mean, going into this game with Jahmyr Gibbs not necessarily being the between the tackles running back, how is Ben Johnson is going to execute with that offense? That's all. My apologies.
Yeah, no, Brandon. I think we may find out a little bit more about Gibbs between the tackles in this game because you may have to. And whether it's Reynolds or Bam Knight gets the ball, we'll see. But they can't give that up. That's part of their identity. That's part of who they are. And, I mean, I know you've been around enough coaches that'll say you can't give up on the run. You have to try to get that thing going. That's what makes Goff effective. He's a heck of a play action quarterback if you look at the numbers last year and what he's able to do. So, look, Gibbs probably, I think, could be a little more decisive sometimes with the football. Sometimes it looks like he's, as rookies do, trying to get a little bit outside sometimes, where we talked about it during the broadcast on the radio. If he just sticks that foot in the ground and takes it upfield, he might be better served. But I'm anxious to see what you're talking about. Can with Reynolds or Gibbs or Van Knight, can somebody run the ball between the tackles in this game against Atlanta? I think that's going to be a question that we're all going to see answered together. But it's one that I think they kind of need because it is a big part of what they do. Now, there's other things they can do. There's short passes that become, in essence, run for Gibbs or things like that they can try to work in. But running's part of their character, and that offensive line is the face of the team.
Hey, Dan, one of the things that Dan Campbell was talking about today in terms of the injuries, and I think it almost felt like he was saying this in response to Amon-Ra St. Brown's toe injury. If it's close enough, do you play this week? If you play this week, does that mean you can't play on Thursday against Green Bay? Does it feel like you got to steal one here? Does it feel like you just, you got one on Sunday, you've got Amon-Ra dealing with this, you've got Decker out, most likely. We don't know that for sure, but if it's close enough, do you sit these guys on Sunday if it's that close to playing on Thursday in Green Bay?
Yeah, that's a good question, and one that I'm sure that they will go over with their doctors and try to figure out, can you do more damage to Amon-Ra's toe or whatever injury they're talking about at that point, or the thigh for Montgomery, who's currently listed as day-to-day. And that's something they're going to have to look at because this is a quick turnaround into a division game. That said, man, you don't want to fall to 1 and 2 because then you're fighting to claw back into this thing. And you don't want to lose your second consecutive home game. So I think, look, you have to make the decisions that are in the best interest of the player going forward. You don't want to risk anything that might be problematic and linger longer than it has to. But I'm certainly not looking at this like I'm taking it casually. I don't want to lose 2 home games in a row, and I don't want to, you head into Green Bay in an absolute must-win situation to avoid falling to 1 and 3. So taking Green Bay out of the division, I'm stacking this thing up as best I can to win this game against an Atlanta team that's 2-0 and feeling confident, and I'll worry about Green Bay when Green Bay comes around.
Part of that, too, about, second home game in a row. Jared Goff told you on Monday that was the best home atmosphere he had ever played in his life. I mean, you think about that. I mean, he's a California kid, played at Cal, and then, of course, L.A. What a hell of an atmosphere on Sunday, and you hope you could replicate that this week, too.
It was great, and it was just different. It just felt different. I mean, you just couldn't find an empty seat in there. And, I was talking to some people that were there. They said the concourses were just packed like they'd never seen them before. I know when I got there, the place that I normally park was the garage wasn't full by any stretch, but there's an area where I usually park, and there's always a ton of spaces there. They were all gone. And I just think people were ready for this game, and it was loud, and the fans were outstanding, and it provides a major advantage for the Lions. But, I think they'll be back this week. Maybe it won't be the exact fervor that you have for a home opener, but I think it's going to be loud in there again. And we've talked about this before. It's incumbent upon Dan Campbell and the players to engage those fans, to give them something to cheer about. Credit Seattle. They, right off the bat, took the opening kickoff and marched down the field to score. That knocks the fans back a little bit, and the Lions had to get them going again. So, no doubt, look, Ford Field will show. I got no doubt about that. The Lions have to do their part to keep them in the game throughout the 60 minutes.
Hey, Dan, Atlanta's a team that you don't really know much about. You hear Kyle Pitts. You hear of, obviously, Bijan Robinson, who's had 2 great games as a rookie. But the Lions' defensive line, banged up as it is right now, it's not been great. It has not. They did get some pressures on Kansas City, but last week, Geno Smith just did whatever the heck he wanted. And Dan Campbell said it earlier this week. He said, I need my most reliable players to be reliable. Is he talking about Aiden Hutchinson? What's Aiden Hutchinson got to do in this game?
You know, that's funny you mentioned that because we were kind of going, well, who's he talking about? And we don't know. We're just speculating. But look, if you're looking at that defense, to me, that's Aiden, that's Aleem McNeil, that's guys like Charles Harris that they're putting out there as starters that have to make plays and get that defensive line going. And whoever else ends up going out there, be it Romeo Okwara or Benito Jones or whoever they stick out there to play in this game, they do have to be better. They do have to disrupt the quarterback. You have 1 sack through 2 games, and that was a desperation play that Geno Smith, frankly, screwed up and never should have been caught back inside his own 5-yard line. Credit to Alex Anzalone, who looked like he was shot out of a cannon. But you know what? That's sack. Now, look, Aaron Glenn made the point last week. Doesn't always have to be a sack to be effective, and that's true. But they weren't real effective in this game against Seattle at all. Geno Smith looked way too comfortable. And that team's got too many talented wideouts that were all too often running with good separation from the closest defender to be able to function as a defense and get off the field. So they got to be better. I mean, I watched that game on Monday night with Pittsburgh. Man, that's what a pass rush looks like. Holy smoke. Those guys were amazing. Yeah. They just made Watson – miserable out there. I thought they looked great. So it's got to be better. I mean, let's face it. They're better. The guys behind them are better. And it just through 2 games, I agree. Thought it was pretty good against Kansas City, even without getting a sack. I thought they affected Mahomes much less so this week.
Is this a must-win game? And I say that joke. I say that joke. Everyone is.
That's your boy. That's your boy, Dan.
I say it tongue-in-cheek, but it feels like a freaking must-win.
You don't want to go 0-2
I mean, but look, I don't know. But here's what I do know is we've already gotten a sense of what this league can do to you emotionally. You come out of Kansas City, and, man, you're walking tall, feeling good. You're feeling like everything's headed in the right direction. They just beat the defending Super Bowl champions. And then you lose this game, and it's like, well, I don't know about the 4th down decisions. I don't know about this pass rush. I don't know about X, Y, or Z. Take your pick. But that's what this league does. It engages you in that way. That's why it's as popular as it is, because we have a week to chew on what just happened before we get to what happens next. And you do dissect it. You do probably beat it up. You do probably go over it and dive into it a little too deeply sometimes. But I know this, they got to be better. There's no doubt about that. Can't turn the ball over. Got to get them off the field more often. Is it a must-win? Man, it feels like a big game to me. It really does. And if we sit here at 1-2 next week, then we'll just talk about bouncing back and they got to beat the Packers. But 2-1 going into Green Bay and playing your first divisional game against a team that is going to be loaded up to beat you on a Thursday night is going to feel a lot better than 1-2. So I think we saw last year you can recover from a lot. They dug too deep a hole last year. But it does feel like second straight game at home. There's some momentum that they can really gain from this game and some momentum that's not going to be there for them if they lose this game. Is that a good way of saying is it a must-win?
Yeah,
I think it's pretty important.
I think so.
No, it definitely is.
Dan,
You're
talk
absolutely
myself into a circle.
Yeah, right.
Dan, you're absolutely correct about coaches loving to go with the run always. And that was Rex Ryan. I remember being next to him all the time. It always seemed like he was in that headphones. Shotty run the ball. Shotty run the ball. Shotty run the ball. Talking about Brian Schottenheimer. So those coaches, they love to go with the run.
Yeah, and I mean, I know, growing up and then covering Joe Gibbs, one of his things in Washington was never give up on the run. Never give up on the run. And there might be times where you'd look at it and you're like, man, throw the ball. But some coaches, and I think most coaches probably believe you just don't give up on the run. You got to keep grinding on that thing. And sooner or later, you will get it. But when you give up on it and make yourself one-dimensional, that's when you're kind of giving the other team an advantage.
Dan, great stuff, man. Hey, just quickly, because a couple of people in the chat have asked for it. They love this. Are we getting Dan Miller calls of the game on Detroit Lions YouTube at all?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, that's not my department. There was a camera malfunction in week 1 in Kansas City. So I think it didn't happen there. But I do believe after the wins, there will be camera in the booth shots of me jumping up and down looking like an idiot.
I have to I had to relay the message from the chat here. So
No, I got you.
All right, good
so,
stuff,
yeah,
Dan.
let's hope we do have it next week because that'll mean they beat the Falcons.
Amen.
Amen. I'm an eternal optimist. Absolutely.
Thanks,
Dan. Appreciate it.
Thanks, boys. Appreciate you.
You got to check Dan out later today. Fox 2 News 5, 6, 10, and 11. And, of course, the voice of the Lions. Great content throughout the week as well on Fox 2. And we are happy to be on fox2detroit.com live from 2 to 4 each and every day. We're going to take a break. When we come back, it's Wednesday. You know what that means.
You know what time it is.
Get your cap ready.
Or no cap.
Get your cap ready, baby.
Cap or no cap. But first, a message from Swiss.
Yes, do you have football on the brain like us? Of course you do. Fall ushers in college and professional football, and this year is going to be awesome. Fall is also a perfect time to shop your home and auto insurance. Shop it like a pro with the pros at Swiss Insurance. They cover WSN, us here at WSN, and they should be covering you too as well. Ask for Mark at Swiss Insurance today at swissins.com or give them a call at 248-800-4177. Swiss Insurance.
Brace yourselves, Detroit. As the sun begins to set, two of Woodward Sports' brightest young stars will be taking the mic for a brand new show. Woodward Nights with Spooner and Broder. The dog days in Detroit are over, and the boys are unleashed. Join in on the banter and hop on the bandwagon of the #1 night show on the internet. Tune into the Woodward Sports YouTube channel every weeknight from 8 to 10 p.m. Woodward Nights with Spooner and Broder.
Burgers and chicken sandwiches are taking over at Big Boy. Try our new pretzel bacon cheeseburger. Turn up the heat with Bob's Hot Chicken Sandwich. Upgrade those regular fries with our chili cheese fries or loaded baked potato fries. Hit your sweet tooth with funnel cake fries or Reese's chocolate peanut butter thunder cake. Load up on all your favorites today at Big Boy.
Now, coming to Woodward Sports, Woodward and Main Street, the Woodward Sports Network Detroit Lions Show. Let's go! Catch Gabrielle D. Phillips, Matt Broder, and Terry Foster for all the latest news on your Detroit Lions every week. Only on the Woodward Sports Network YouTube channel and woodwardsports.com.
Time to come downtown Detroit to the Cambria Hotel, 5 Iron Golf. That is right, 13 simulators, brand new, every course around the world you can play, drink, party, practice, and play. And on Thursdays, we do the Woodward Sports Golf League, 5 to 7. Come on down, drink, have a good time. It's the place to be, 5 Iron Golf.
All right, Woodward Sports Network. If you're watching on YouTube, hit the subscribe button.
Oh, yeah.
We're less than 200 subscribers away from 50,000 on this platform. Also, hit the like button. Helps YouTube push our content out to more people. So the more people that we can get to hit that like button, the better it is for all of us and you as well. All right, Braylon, we do it every week. It is cap or no cap. If you're new to the show, welcome, number one. But number two, explain what cap or no cap is, Bray.
Well, cap or no cap is simple. If it is cap, that means it is a lie. And if it is true, that means it is no cap, meaning it is true. We play this game. It is fun. We got to start getting the intro video for the cap and no cap.
Oh, man.
I feel like we got to get the intro video for the segment. This is a legit segment.
No doubt. Legit. This is legit. We got T-shirts made after this segment.
We got to step our ish up.
We got to step our ish up.
All right, here we go. First question. I got to go to my...
Brandon, I can't even see your face right now.
Notes.
Ray, you just look like one big hat on the screen.
Just one big hat. All right, here we go. First one out the gate. The Lions are fine. Is that cap or no cap?
No cap. They are fine.
Okay.
They are fine. That is true. So true means no cap. They are fine.
Yes.
They are fine. Now, I might panic a little bit.
Okay.
After this one, but I'm keeping the faith.
Tom Mazaway, what say you?
Oh, it's cap. They're far from fine. What did Marcellus Wiley in Pulp Fiction? I'm far from
okay.
I'm far from okay. Yeah, the Lions are far from okay. They are hurting.
Ooh,
it's the only good thing they got going in their defense is it's early in the year. It's only week 3. You got another don't know, another 14 games to go after this week. So I have to say it's Cap. They're not fine right now.
I think they're a mixture, but since I have to say one or the other, I will go with fine. I say it's no cap. I think the Lions are fine. I still don't like their division, so I don't believe in Minnesota. I don't believe in the Chicago Bears, and I don't believe in Jordan Love. So I think they are still fine. They lost a good one against a good team, so they are fine. Those injuries, though, got to keep an eye on them. Next one in the comments. Here we go.
Let's go.
The Lions need to make moves for the trade deadline. What say you, Ryan and Monty? Are there some moves you think the Lions will make for the trade deadline?
Yes.
So this is no cap then.
Oh, yeah. No cap. No cap. No cap again. No cap again.
Okay. Where in specific?
I think they will need to get, we got to see where the injuries are. Number one. Like, will Montgomery come back fine? How will the DB, will Mosley ever come back?
Yeah.
What about the offensive line? What about the defensive line? I mean, there's about 6 different position groups that I can point to right now and say they could use a little help, but we'll see where they are in about a month.
Tom Mazaway, the Lions need to make moves before the deadline.
So no cap.
No cap.
No
facts.
cap.
No cap.
Just say facts on that one. I don't know what they're going to do.
Yeah.
It's really not their MO to go and do things. Actually, they made one trade. They traded Hawkinson away. We'll see what Brad Holmes comes up with. I think they will definitely have to make some moves at the trade deadline, by the trade deadline.
Parker, what say you?
Man, I think this is for sure no cap, but I'll give you some ideas on where we're going to need that depth.
Okay.
Interior defensive line. I think that's going to be a struggle coming in for the rest of the year. Wide receiver. Mike Evans is still wanting to get traded. It's still a very opportune. The opportunity is still there for Brad Holmes to trade something. Whether it's if Tracy Walker starts to pop off and maybe the Tampa Bay Buccaneers maybe want him for Mike Evans, or maybe it's a couple picks. But I think this is no cap. There's obvious spots that they want to fix.
Parker, I'm agree with you. I think they need to make a move, and I think they need to make a move specifically in those departments, wide receiver and interior defensive line. And Mike Evans is not a bad cause. I think this might be the one chance or the one time I think I need Brad Holmes step outside that path that you had to get to the conference championship. You might got to step outside and you might got to do something like pick up Mike Evans. So this is.
What are you getting from Mike Evans?
What are you giving up?
What's Tampa want from Mike Evans?
Well, they're 2-0.
I know, but let's just hypothetically say.
I give up a third round for Mike Evans.
Chris Godwin's his favorite target, so.
I'm just saying, don't forget, in April of 2024, the NFL draft is in Detroit. So, I mean, they're not going to want to give up any picks. I
understand that, but at the same time, they also don't want to sit in situations.
I'm with you.
You got to pay to play.
That's it.
Got to pay to play. Next one. What we got out the gate? Sunday changed your mind about Jared Goff. What say you? Is that cap or is that no cap?
No cap. He's grading out to be the 4th highest quarterback right now.
So it changed for the better.
I've always been high on Jared Goff.
I understand, but the question was, did it change? We talk about with the offensive line, it looked like he was a little rushed, like his throws changed. So I'm saying was, did Sunday, with the bad offensive line play, did it change your mind about Goff? You're saying it changed for the better.
Oh, well, it didn't change because I didn't think he had a bad game. I thought he played really well.
Okay, that's why.
No cap. No cap.
No, it's cap.
This is cap.
Sunday changed your mind about Goff. No, it didn't. That's cap.
It's cap.
There you go.
Correct.
It's cap.
Tom Mazaway.
Same here.
Cap.
Nope. He's doing great. Leave him alone. Just protect him. Let him do his thing. I still believe. Has not changed my mind.
I believe.
JB, what say you, sir, as Ryan is singing to the pulpit?
That's cap. Nothing has changed. I mean, Jared Goff is going from mid to, I will see, at least say above average for me. First half he played a little bit with confidence,
right?
And second half, you started to see that confidence drift off a little bit, especially with the offensive line just kind of collapsing on him. So, but still, nothing has changed for me. I mean, he played for the better.
All right, nothing has changed.
Way to go, JB.
Nothing has changed for me either. 74%. He is second in the NFL. He's 5th in QBR. Nothing has changed, but I am keeping a close eye on Jared Goff.
Hey.
I'm keeping a close eye
Love
on
it.
Jared Goff. Keeping an eye.
Love.
You want to save some for
I would like to take a break, and we'll come right back. We'll do more cap or no cap, and of course go around the NFL. But first, a message from Guardian Alarm. They're your local security experts, have been for over 90 years. You see this black and yellow sign out in front of your house? It tells the bad guys one thing:
stay out.
Whether you are at home or on the road, they're 24/7 professional monitoring, customized solutions from real experts, and technology backed by people means you are backed by the best. Call this number right here, 1-800.
Stay out.
The number again, 1-800.
Stay out.
Call them today. Tell them Woodward Sports sent you.
Stay out.
Your home is your most important asset. Flexibility in the sales process is key. When you work with Mark White & Associates, you can cancel at any time, for any reason, without penalty. Speaking of flexibility, check this out. Who you work with matters. Hire the best broker in the game.
Now, coming to Woodward Sports. Woodward and Main Street. The Woodward Sports Network Detroit Lions Show. Let's go! Catch Gabrielle D. Phillips, Matt Broder, and Terry Foster for all the latest news on your Detroit Lions every week. Only on the Woodward Sports Network YouTube channel and woodwardsports.com.
Calling all landscapers. This is Darren McCarty. I'm at Outdoor Equipment Co. How would you like to landscape like a legend? How about a bad boy zero turn? And even a chainsaw. And even a weed whipper. So register today at OutdoorEquipCo.com, and even you could have DMAC on your landscaping crew.
Hey gang, join Woodward Sports and Long Drink live this Sunday for the official Lions tailgate party. It's at Eastern Market inside Shed 5, and it's going to be a bash starting at 9:30 until game time. The official Lions tailgate, back and better than ever. How would you like to pregame it with Woodward Sports? Be treated like a VIP. Food, beverages, entertainment, all included. Get your tickets online today, bullseyeeventgroup.com, bullseyeeventgroup.com, or you can win some. Woodward Sports. Subscribe to our YouTube. Follow us on IG and direct message Lions VIP.
You got to be careful with those long drinks, because I saw a guy in that VIP area when, by the time I got there, it's always that one fan that has a couple
out.
Too many. He had a very long drink, let's say. It probably took a very long nap.
Lights out.
Here we go. Right back at it. Cap or no cap. Let's jump into other teams. This is a hot topic right now. Micah Parsons is NFL MVP front runner right now. What say you, Ryan Ermanni?
I think you can even go him or Dak, to be honest with you.
Micah Parsons is the NFL MVP front runner right now.
Cap.
Thank you.
Cap.
Why is that, and who is it?
Because I think you can look at because it's very rare for defensive players to get any recognition whatsoever, even though he maybe should be. I think you look at Dak Prescott. They're the most dominant team in the league right now, the Dallas Cowboys. I told you. Yes, I said it.
About time you said something. About time you told me something.
I said it. Dallas is winning the NFC East.
Okay, now that's fine. But with that being said, still, Dak Prescott hasn't done poop. Last game he had 225 yards, 2 touchdowns. Game before that he had a buck, 20? So no, he's not over Micah Parsons. Micah Parsons leads the number 1 defense in the league right now.
With the number 1 team in the league.
Because Micah Parsons.
Cap.
They didn't even score offensive touchdown week 1. How's he gonna be in the league?
Talk to him.
How's he in the league?
Cap.
Man, cap yourself. Tom Mazaway.
Geno Smith.
Micah Parsons is the league MVP right now. Front runner. What say you?
If it wasn't for Tua Tagovailoa, I would say yes.
So the answer is Cap.
The answer is Cap.
You're going Tua.
I'm going with Tua.
That's a bad. That's
going with Tua.
It's not a bad choice. That was something I wanted to talk about too. Like, what do you fear most? Dallas's defensive line or that offense of the Miami Dolphins? That's a great question. Because right now I fear Tua and Mike McDaniel more than I fear anything in this league.
That Raheem Mostert's even running good.
And he's a part of that offense. That's great. I say this is no cap. I'm going Micah Parsons.
I wouldn't.
Nobody's gonna fight.
I wouldn't
you on
spit
it.
that.
Nobody's fighting you.
I think but key word is front runner right now. We know they're going to give it to the offensive quarterback at the end, but right now he will have a case. So I'm going to go. It's no cap. All right, next one up there. Jets make a move at QB.
Have
Ryan,
to. No cap.
You keep saying this. You
No
agree.
cap.
Kirk Cousins is going after him?
They got to do something. They cannot wait for Aaron Rodgers. They'll be 2-14 by the time Aaron Rodgers comes back.
This is all right. What do you think, Maz?
If they don't, I don't know what I would do. This is a for sure no cap. They must get a real starting quarterback and not a guy that's retired either. They got to go get somebody. Once these teams start falling off, the Jets got to tread water. They got to tread water until they get to that trade deadline. No one's trading anybody right now, but I'll say no cap for sure.
I say this is cap. At the end of the day, they just need Nathaniel Hackett to run the damn ball with Breece Hall and Dalvin Cook. Because Kirk Cousins is not going to go there and be some savior and save the New York Jets. He can't save the Minnesota Vikings. He couldn't save the Washington Commanders. He's not a savior. I'm going with just run the damn ball with Nathaniel Hackett. You got Breece Hall and Dalvin Cook. Run the ball.
When your quarterback sucks, it's a really easy time to have your team fractured because you've got it ready-made for you, but you just need the one guy that's not doing his job or is incapable of doing that job, and that's poor. He's just not good.
Right.
He can't take himself out of the game.
No.
You know what I mean?
Hand the ball off. I played some games with Mark Sanchez where he didn't have more than 15 attempts. Run the ball, and we won games like that. We could throw the ball all the time. Run the ball.
Maybe their O-line isn't
Here's
good
the
enough to run the ball.
Okay, then if that's the case, then their O-line isn't good enough to bring in Kirk Cousins.
Right.
Because it doesn't matter. If their O-line is that bad,
Then
Ryan,
trade
it
for an
doesn't matter.
offensive lineman too.
Just think about the quarterbacks. Go back to that 2021 NFL draft. Zach Wilson
Justin
at
Fields.
2. Trey Lance at 3.
Yeah.
Justin Fields at 11.
Mac Jones.
Mac Jones. You throw Mac Jones in there if you want. You know, what a disaster. That's how you stay bad, though, right? I mean, now it worked out for the 49ers because they also took Brock Purdy later in that draft, but oh man.
It really didn't work out for we're giving them credit. That didn't work out because they traded 3 first-round picks.
22 7th round, sure.
Oh, yeah.
Here, Bray, I got something on this.
What's
so
it?
RG3 actually said this best. You bring in another quarterback.
Is this the one where RG3 said bring himself back too? Please don't give me that quote where he tried to bring himself back out of retirement. No, I'm not listening.
No. They said it would be a distraction to the Jets offense right now, where you have a new veteran quarterback coming in the system. When you got Zach Wilson's not the answer. We all know that. But Zach Wilson did also put together a game where he did beat the Bills. With Josh Allen maybe not playing his best
you almost beat the
game.
Lions last year.
Yeah, and I mean, it's just going to be a distraction on the offense. That's all it's going to be.
All right, I'm going with Cap. They shouldn't make a move. They should stay with him and play it how it is because nothing's going to come in there and get them to the Super Bowl at this point. There are no Super Bowl quarterback saviors waiting in the wings anywhere. And I heard the dumbest thing ever said, go get Ryan Tannehill. Because the way in which he moves and he can run. I was like, you know what? That guy should be fired. All right, next question. Oh, Ryan, would you stop it? Did you act like you were entertaining that?
I think
He's an upgrade.
I think he's an upgrade.
He is an upgrade. Went to the Pro Bowl.
He feels
2 years ago.
He reminds me of a Brad Johnson type guy.
They're 1-1 as well.
Brad Johnson had it. Well, that defense was amazing. Here we go. Commanders are for real. Ryan, what say you?
No cap.
You buying the Washington Commanders?
Contenders for real for what? A playoff berth? Yes. For real for a division championship? Cap. For real for a wild card spot?
Wild card
spot.
Cap. Okay.
No cap.
No cap here as well. I think Washington is good. We all thought they would take a step up this year, and they have. Sam Howell has been very good, and he might have been a real lucky pick for Washington in that 4th round.
I'm saying this is cap. Washington Commanders are going to falter. They got some sacks out the gate. They got some play by Sam Howell. But look at the 2 teams they beat. Do you trust in the Broncos and what they've been putting on the field? No. Do you trust in, what was the first game they played? It's 2-0.
Cardinals.
The Cardinals and the Broncos?
Well, they beat the teams they're supposed to.
Broncos and the I understand that, but
they're not beating the next two teams.
Thank you. This is called cap. I am not buying the Washington
But then they might
Commanders.
win 3 in a row.
I'm buying their schedule. I'm buying their first 2 games.
There's 7th scoring offense in the league right now.
And they also played against the Arizona Cardinals,
They did what they
who
were
we
supposed
said
to
were
do.
going to have the number 1 pick in the draft, and the Denver Broncos.
Cardinals lost 2 one-score games.
This is true, but I'm not trying to hear it. Next, what we got? Here we go. We just talked about it. Oregon blows out Colorado. Is that cap or no cap?
It's no cap, and I'll tell you why. Because it opened at 19, and you know the public who are heavy on Colorado.
Yeah.
But the number keeps going up. That means the Sharps are throwing their money on Oregon, and they're doing that for a reason. This is the week everything kind of gets put to a stop. I do think they blow them out. I'll be rooting for Colorado.
Right.
I hope I'm wrong, but this is the week.
Tom Mazaway, what say you?
Cap. Deion Sanders will get his guys ready for this game, and they will be in this game, I believe. I don't think 21 points, they cover that. So, Cap, go Buffs.
Hey, did you see who's the new coach added to the staff?
Yes,
Colorado?
Warren Sapp.
Warren Sapp.
Warren Sapp.
Sapp.
Warren Sapp. This is cap. They're not going to get blown out. Like, I just believe it. At the end of the day, they have the quarterback. They have the offensive line is where I was concerned. They've been playing pretty decent at the offensive line. I don't know about Oregon's defense. They give up points as well. That offense is going to give up points. I think it's a high-scoring game. The Oregon ends up winning by about 2 touchdowns.
You know
it
what,
won't be
Tom
a
Brady?
blowout. 2 touchdowns is safe.
Yeah.
It's not a blowout. They'll win by 2 touchdowns.
Tom Brady said Shakur Sanders.
Shadur Sanders.
Shadur Sanders should get his
Tupac
head out of his
Shakur?
car and in his book and study the playbook.
Right. Get out of that Rolls Royce
Yep.
and just study film.
Exactly.
He was he was tongue-in-cheek joking, but it's
Hey.
funny. He didn't drive a Rolls Royce in college. He's jealous.
Hey, his backup did. Drew Henson. Drew had that Yankees money. All right, here we go. It won't be a blowout. There you go. That's for you, Ryan Ermanni. Next one. J.J. McCarthy throws another pick. Cap or no cap?
He will not throw another pick this season.
Oh, you're going to take it one step further. This season?
J.J. McCarthy, listen to me. Listen to me here.
Yeah.
J.J. McCarthy, thank you. J.J. McCarthy will not throw another interception this season.
Oh, my God.
You can bookmark it. It's fine.
Are you kidding?
He will not throw another interception this
Whoa.
season.
Thank God you don't gamble anymore.
That's why you
Just
can say
saying.
stuff like that.
Well, if he doesn't, will you guys apologize
Yes,
to me?
I'll apologize. I'll kiss your ass
What
on
else?
Woodward.
Would you kiss my ass
On Woodward, yes.
Would you kiss my ass on Woodward?
I would.
Hey, I'm out.
You heard it here first, live.
Of course.
I'm out.
Lock it up.
I don't want no parts.
You don't even have to give me something back.
Okay. Trust me, I
Where
won't.
did this go? Tom Mazaway, what say you? Will he throw another pick this week?
Of course. Of course.
Of course.
Of course he will. He's going to throw one against freaking who they playing this week.
Rutgers.
There you go. He'll throw one against Rutgers.
And here again, if Shadur Sanders returns to Colorado, JJ is going to be the number 1 pick. I'm just saying.
So what happened to
For somebody, he will be the number 1 pick. For
What happened to
somebody.
Caleb Williams?
Saying.
He died.
Just wait. He'll fade. He'll fade. He'll fade.
He won the Heisman last year.
It's all right. He'll fade.
Like you. Like you. Hey, look, man.
Like you.
What time did you wake up today?
JJ McCarthy, here we
4:30.
go.
Okay.
I know, we got your back. I will say no this week, but I won't go as far as Ryan Ermanni. He's going to throw another pick. You throw 3 picks against Bowling Green, I worry against Penn State.
Who's coaching
and
this
Penn
week?
State. Finally.
Yeah.
Jim Harbaugh, welcome back. Last one.
Yep. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Last one.
Hold on, hold on.
Bijan will run for 100 yards or more. Is this cap or no cap?
Just run, not catch and run.
Cap.
No, yeah, just rush.
Okay.
He will
Cap.
rush for 100 yards.
Cap. Lions are going to. Aaron Glenn will have his guys ready. Aaron Glenn will have a defensive game plan to stop number 7 right there.
Cap. He ain't running for 100. But he'll have over 100 combined.
Okay.
Fair.
This is no cap. I think he's going for 100. I think he's going for 100, maybe 100. Not a huge game, but I think he's going for $110, $115. What say you, JP?
This is cap. I feel like AG will have his guys in the line, as you said, Ryan. But if you guys watch that video I just sent you all, the above camera angle of Bijan running,
pretty good.
Yeah,
Hey,
you need to be on your A game.
Let me tell you like this.
Need to be.
Let me tell you like that. Them linebackers that are wearing Honolulu blue and silver, they ain't never seen nothing like Bijan Robinson. That's all I'm saying.
I mean,
you need to be on your A game.
Alex Anzalone and Jack Campbell, get ready. It's going to be a fun game to watch.
They're doing really well against the run. They held Kenneth Walker to 43 last week.
Yeah, Kenneth Walker is not Bijan Robinson.
How happy was Atlanta when the Lions traded their number 6 pick?
I'm happy with everybody.
Yeah, no doubt.
I'll tell you though, I just want start giving the ball more and more to Sam Laporta. Like, I'm dead serious. Sam Laporta, he's the player that I want to fill in that role right now, that number 2 receiver. Hell, there are tight ends that catch the ball. They're the number 1 receivers on their team, not just Travis Kelce. He needs to be the guy that you're putting plays in for, because that middle of the field has been open for the Lions thus far this season in the system, and that's why they're having a lot of success with Sam Laporta. Keep giving the ball.
Look at this guy, cap or no cap. Hey,
Cap or no cap, baby.
everybody, we'll do it again next week. We're going to take a break. When we come back, we'll go around the NFL, get you some news and notes from around the league. But first, a message from Big Boy.
All right, fellas, let's go, man. I'm hungry for one of these. Try the best cheeseburger in town or the new pretzel bacon cheeseburger at Big Boy. And if you're craving chicken, the Dolly chicken sandwich has got your name on it. And if you like your chicken spicy, you got to go with Bob's Hot Chicken Sandwich. Upgrade your regular fries with the chili cheese fries or the loaded baked potato fries and get that dessert. Save room for it. It's Reese's chocolate peanut butter thunder cake or the funnel cake fries. All that and more at Big Boy.
Where's the most convenient place to get that big fitness energy?
It's Planet Fitness.
Join today for just $1 down, $10 a month. With over 2,400 locations and equipment for every workout, you can get in, get energized, and get going. And with free fitness training and most clubs open 24 hours, everyone belongs in the judgment-free zone. So join today for $1 down, $10 a month, no commitment, cancel anytime. Deal ends Wednesday, September 13th.
Join now at any Metro Detroit location. Hurry, offer ends soon.
Woodward Sports' own Tom Mazaway and Sam Stick Day will be hosting our Lions postgame show after every Lions game all season long. Tune into the Woodward Sports YouTube channel for his hot-off-the-press takes, game analysis, and Kool-Aid sipping celebrations. You won't want to miss it. Join Maz, Stick, and special guests each week immediately following every Lions game, exclusively on the WSN YouTube channel.
It's the Randy Wise Celebrity Golf Tour.
You're a good coach, Tim. Oh, great shot.
Some of the biggest names in Michigan sports, and some, well, not so much.
Oh, yeah, baby. Oh, yeah, baby.
Watch episodes at woodwardsports.com.
At the Academy of Warren, they have a brand new state-of-the-art Sports Dome Fieldhouse. You know how it is. It's the regulation basketball court, volleyball court, and soccer field. Also can obviously be used for 7-on-7 football. K-8 that features AM/PM latchkey, small classroom sizes, learning street, futuristic media center, free breakfast and lunch, Houghton Mifflin curriculum, academic games, K-8 athletics, and obviously so much more they got to offer there. The facility's beautiful. Everybody's great there. They are now accepting new enrollment, so go to theacademyofwarren.net. I don't know what other school you'd choose.
We got some breaking news in the NFL, really, coming up, and we'll send it over to Tom Mazaway. Not something you think you hear every day.
Well, you know, the home of the Lions is Allen Park. The home of the Chicago Bears is Hallis Hall, and it has been raided. The police in Chicago have raided Hallis Hall, as well as defensive coordinator Alan Williams' home. No one knows what's going on, but something rotten is in Chicago right now. But that's besides the Bears. Hallis Hall has been raided.
That's
wild, man.
Last time I heard about something being raided, I still don't know what it was about.
That was Matt Weiss. It was computer crime, but we don't know what it was.
We don't know what it was.
We don't know what was on the computer, but it wasn't in criminal in nature because he was never charged with a crime and anything like that.
That's great. So what is this? What could this be?
This feels like, again, anytime you raid something, it's a computer issue.
Sex crimes.
I immediately go to computer, and it's either one of two things.
Yeah.
Sex, child
pedophilia, pornography,
something, or money. That's where my
because those are the three places should go.
Money crime.
Yeah.
That is where my mind immediately goes on these things. That's why I thought it was important that we should know what Matt Weiss did.
I agree.
You know what I mean?
I still want to know.
But again, Matt Weiss isn't walking around as a predator. You know what I mean? There was nothing criminal. It was university related, but it was university related.
I know. I'm messing around.
Yeah.
I'm joking. My school too. I don't want my school to look bad.
Especially with legal stuff, I try to be very factual with the legal stuff because I don't.
So
want
we had Charlie on yesterday.
Any allegation that
You're very factual.
Well, with the legal stuff, I try criminal behavior. Or whatever. I try to put allegedly in front of it and stuff like that.
You're an anchor.
I'm a regular guy from the neighborhood with a
You know
cool
who's
job.
good at TV and you would think he got lessons? Is your boy Mike Tomlin. He's usually amazing in front of the camera. But he didn't look so good last time I interviewed him. That's why I wanted him to get that quote. Like, he sounds like the wheels are starting to fall off in Pittsburgh. Like, I was just listening to how he answered one of the media's question. Like, it was just very vague, and he's talking about fans and we want them to be fat and he was kind of talking about we want them to have fun and cheer. We love the energy. We feed off.
They have a great crowd. Man.
He completely didn't answer the question though, and then when he got asked the question again, he had a snarky response. Like he had a snippy, snarky response that isn't Mike Tomlin like. I think
at some point though, you do wear out your welcome.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
I think this starting to happen.
That's just professional sports. At some point, what is Pittsburgh had 3 coaches in 50 years or something like that?
Yeah.
Something like that.
3 coaches in my lifetime.
You do wear out your welcome in professional sports.
And then you start to look at yourself like, damn, I wish I would have picked up a quarterback when Ben Roethlisberger was playing. I wish I would have prepared for this. I wish I maybe would have focused a couple more picks on offense instead of everything on defense. But
hey, Kareem Hunt has a new home. We all knew where it was going to be. He is now signed on with the Cleveland Browns. He gets a 1-year deal. He can make up to $14 million, by the way, with this deal. No wonder why he did not come here for a workout. We're not giving anyone $14 million. $4 million, sorry.
Yeah, 4. I'm like,
we're not giving anyone 4.
I'm like, shoot, Saquon couldn't get 4.
Yeah, we're not giving anyone 4 as well.
It makes sense. He knows all.
They do say Jerome Ford will still be the starting running back.
Not for long.
We'll see.
He'll be the guy they crap to play for. I mean, look, he knows the system. He knows that he's been in it the last 4 years. It'll be year 5. So it makes sense. This is different than trying to place a quarterback in a situation. This is a guy that knows the system. Like, where would you go? Where else would you go?
I think Kareem Hunt's a good player. I always wonder with a guy like that, though, whether it's Kareem Hunt or Leonard Fournette. We had a list of all the workouts.
Yep.
There's what guy you didn't see on there? Leonard Fournette.
No.
Yeah.
What?
I think he's having some lunch and some dinner.
But he's 28 years old, man. You know what I mean? Like, Kareem Hunt, why isn't Kareem Hunt on a roster? You know what I mean? Like, how does it 32 NFL teams with 2 running backs per team? That's 6. There are not 64 running backs that are better than Kareem Hunt.
The Giants have Matt Breida as their new starting running back.
But yeah, you asked where they have Kareem Hunt. Where's Leonard Fournette? Running backs past a certain number aren't getting snaps anywhere anyway. Like, let's not forget, Leonard Fournette's been in the league a while. Leonard Fournette's been in the league a while. He got a lot of taking toll on his body. Remember him at LSU?
Yeah.
He was a bruiser. He was front runner for the Heisman at one point. And then obviously Derrick Henry won that one, but a lot of miles on those legs in Leonard Fournette. And he may be a guy that, hey, he's got a Super Bowl. He's made some money. He might be relaxing. Right. Remember the big thing on him was
chill.
He's 260 right now, or 257.
That's what I'm saying.
He might really be 257 and enjoying it.
He's eating.
He's
hanging.
Yeah.
Russell Wilson we've been talking about him for a while now, and especially you, Ryan.
He's playing better.
But you know what? Sean Payton don't think he's playing much better. I'll let you read Sean Payton's statement about it.
All right, Sean Payton, head coach of the Denver Broncos, appears to be blaming quarterback Russell Wilson for Denver's early struggles and 0-2 start. Quote, there were a number of drives where we were late with personnel. Excuse me. There were a number of drives where we were late with personnel getting out of the huddle. We took a while. That has to change. We had to burn timeouts in the first half, and I'm not used to doing that. We have to be better. I have to be better. Russ has to be sharper with getting the play out. And then we have to look at how much we have in. If we need to wear a wristband, we will.
Look, he needs to relax because what he's doing, he's laying the seeds so that he can get everybody turned against Russ, fire Russ. So that when he ultimately goes to Jarrett Stidham, it makes sense. Russell was much better in the first half of that game. He was much better in the first half of the last game. They are averaging the most yards per play in the NFL right now. That's a small stat. He had 300 last year. Yes. 50 of it on a Hail Mary, but he had 3 touchdowns in that game. He's playing better. Look, when he first took over of the Saints and he went and got Drew Brees, it did not work it right away. It did not click right away. It took them a second to get it going. So just give him a second. Let him figure it out. It's much better than what it was last year because I was with you guys. Yep. It looked like poop. He's playing much better, but he's still having some collapses in the fourth quarter. I will give you that. He's not the same quarterback in the fourth quarter that he is in the first 3. He's having those collapses. That I can actually agree with.
Speaking about the Saints, Jamal Williams, former Lion, is going to be down for a while as well. He's got a hamstring injury, so one more week.
Is every running back hurt?
Yeah, Alvin Kamara comes back in 1 week.
Go 6 wide.
It just shows you that no one's getting to work in the preseason.
Just go 6 wide.
It's a fact.
I just got to say this about my guy Russ. 308 yards passing. 92 of them came in the final drive. So, you know what I mean?
It's still 210. Like, shoot.
So he drove him down the field for almost a tie.
Right, yeah. Right. It's good.
It's still 210. It's been ugly the first few weeks. Everybody's been ugly the first few weeks of the season.
Because they don't play the preseason.
Nobody's been.
We'll get a break. We'll be back to wrap it up next. First, a message from Fairway Packing Company. Fairway Packing Company for over 60 years. Oh, yeah. The Barada family has provided Michigan's finest restaurants, hotels, and casinos with prime beef, Wagyu beef, and dry aged beef. You can experience a Fairway difference for yourself today. You know where I'm going after the show today? Fairway Packing Company on Mack Avenue in Grosse Pointe Woods. I'm going to get myself a grab-and-go steak, and I'm going to cook it tonight on my Blackstone grill, and it's going to taste perfectly. That's right. If you can't make it in person in Grosse Pointe Woods, feel free to look up them to order order online, fairwaypacking.com, fairwaypacking.com.
Source aged prime cut pack 2 perfection.
Oh man.
Join Woodward Sports' own Jeff Iafrate along with special WSN guests for the most anticipated Lions season in decades. Filled with different surprises and expert analysis. You're not going to want to miss out. Go to our Woodward Sports YouTube channel on Sundays and tune in live from 9:30 to 11:30 a.m.
By now you know me, Christina Gennari, as the obvious choice in real estate. And you know my website, soldchristina.com. as your #1 resource for buying or selling your home. Myself, along with my amazing staff, pride ourselves on making your home buying and selling experience a relaxing and easy one. Come see why we are the obvious choice. Christina Gennari at soldchristina.com, the obvious choice in real estate.
Brace yourselves, Detroit. As the sun begins to set, 2 of Woodward Sports' brightest young stars will be taking the mic for a brand new show. Woodward Nights with Spooner and Broder. The dog days in Detroit are over, and the boys are unleashed. Join in on the banter and hop on the bandwagon of the #1 night show on the internet. Tune into the Woodward Sports YouTube channel every weeknight from 8 to 10 p.m. Woodward Nights with Spooner and Broder.
Hey gang, let me tell you about Les Stanford Buick GMC, located in Ferndale, in the great city of Ferndale, on Woodward, just south of 9 Mile. They have added Buick GMC to their umbrella. Les Stanford, for over 50 years, has provided customers with service and trust. And of course, if you want to buy a Chevy or a Cadillac, Les Stanford in Dearborn, where they have been for over 55 years. You can find the brand you want under one umbrella. Go to Les Stanford. LesStanford.com, LesStanford.com.
Find new roads.
I gotta tell you, I cannot read the damn reading today.
It's okay.
I just can't read them.
You're tired, man.
I just can't read them today.
You're tired.
You know what? What do you mean I'm tired?
I'm tired.
I'm tired.
My owner.
Cannot
what
read
do you mean
them.
I'm fired?
Mr. Ford.
Y'all are just yelling nonsense right now. Would you guys get on track? Let's finish the show with some dick.
Finish it up.
Here's our Week 2 passing leaders, courtesy of the
Edwards?
NFL. Here we go. Check out the Week 2 passing leaders. Ryan? Can you read those guys?
Yes, C.J. Stroud, 1, 384. Kirk Cousins, 2, 364. Geno Smith, we saw that one live, 328. Your boys, Jared Goff, 4, 323. And Daniel Jones, who I should have taken in fantasy football, 321.
You know, I usually look at passing leaders a little bit like those numbers. Just to me, that means your team is down. Right? That's why the first 2 teams down there lost. Yeah. Lions lost. The Giants were down 21 points or 28-3, something like that.
That's true. But it's
Seattle was the only team that won. Well, I guess the Giants won, but they came back either way.
It's true, but it's a passing league now. Usually by the end of the season, when you look at the stat leaders, they're going to be the quarterbacks that are in the playoffs, deep in the playoffs, in the Super Bowl. So those stats, it's a passing league. You got to score points to win games.
No doubt.
Remember we talked about spring football, how it's going to make it?
No.
Well, the XFL struggled. USFL struggled. So what are they going to do? They're going to merge.
I think this works.
USFL.
I've been saying something like this had to happen to save because the 2 leagues can't go on their own.
No.
Impossible. But spring football can work.
Can you do a USFL versus an XFL?
I thought of that as well, but it does not look like that's what they want to do. Because remember I said the 2 champions should play each other. I would have liked that.
Right.
Yeah,
but these 2 leagues cannot survive on their own. They can't make money. So I think they will merge here. I don't know what name they'll keep, USFL or XFL, but maybe USFXL.
Yeah, XUSFL, probably.
Yeah.
You got to merge the leagues. The reason why you got to merge the leagues because whatever the Rock is a part of is going to be the one that succeeds. So if you merge the league and make him the owner or whatever else, now everything kind of falls under the Rock's name, and you have more teams, and it's sustainable. If you try to go us versus them type situation, I'm only watching the one the Rock's part of.
See, the Rock's probably like, I'm getting out of here. He can't do it. That's why he's merging.
Yeah, true. He's like, man, I got so much other stuff you got going on.
He's like, damn, I'm not doing this.
Hey, I knew something was up when I saw him at that Colorado game. You know, Fox was like, they parade him out there when they need stuff, when they got stuff coming up.
Hey, I got one other thing. One thing before we leave, guys.
He was on game day.
He's big noon, too.
Oh, was he? Did them both.
Hey, one thing before we leave. Tigers lose to the Dodgers last night, 3-2. They've been playing really good.
Great baseball.
They're 9.5 out, only 11 to play. Torque hit number 29.
God bless them.
But next year, for opening day, guys.
Next year.
Comerica Park will be looking fresh.
And they need it.
They said they're going to do major upgrades to Comerica Park, and it'll be ready for next season's opening day.
And we don't know what that means yet.
We do not
Just
know.
Major. That's all they said.
I believe it when I see it.
There you go.
Whatever it is.
And the Tampa Bay Rays got themselves a new stadium. They're staying in Tampa.
St. Pete.
Yep, Tampa St. Pete. So I'm so happy for them that they get to stay there.
A beautiful stadium that nobody will attend.
There you go.
They're only going to have 30,000 seats. They should be able to take care of that.
That's a way to do it. All right, Bray, get us out of here.
Hey, man, we're at Over the Hill. That was Wednesday. Tomorrow's Thursday. More on the Detroit Lions. Also, who plays tomorrow, actually? Is there a good game on?
San Fran and the G-Men.
Oh, yeah, San Fran.
And no Saquon Barkley.
No Saquon. Matt Breida.
Oh, good. I get to see Matt Breida versus the Chiefs.
Oh, Survivor tomorrow.
Not for me. I ain't taking that game.
I'm out.
Oh, yeah, you're out.
Are you taking that game?
No, I'm not taking that game.
Okay.
So then no Survivor tomorrow.
No Survivor tomorrow. Good.
Do it Friday.
We're out of here, man. We appreciate you guys for tuning in. Edwards and Ermanni site. Ermanni and Edwards with Maz. JB Parker, great job by you guys. See ya.